Welcome to Cranky Live, the show where bold minds meet real talk. This isn't your average sports or news show. It's where we break down sports, culture, and controversy with facts, fire, and fearless honesty. Here, truth cuts through the noise, and hype gets exposed. From football to track and field, from world issues to local debates, we ask the tough questions, speak without fear, and go deeper than the headlines. We don't follow the crowd, we set the trend. While others recycle the same tired takes, we bring fresh insight, unfiltered analysis, and bold perspectives. No echo chambers, no puppet talk, just real conversation for people who think for themselves. Listen with your brain, not just your ears. Think critically, question boldly, and speak freely. This is Cranky Live, where reason rules the mic and truth always wins. Come on, let's get into it. Good night, everyone. Bless up. Welcome to the Crank Show. Good night, Omar. HK6WB. How are you doing? How's everyone doing out there in YouTube land? As you come in, just hit the like button. We have a few things to talk about tonight. As you can see in the label, there is Jamaica football on the rise. Bless up, Oral Johnson. Before I jump into that, I want to mention a couple of things. A lot of world events happening. We won't get into world events tonight, but it's a very troubling time, but times have always been troubling. If you have been in this earth for a while, you know that it's a troubled earth. Human beings have the propensity to want to terminate each other. Don't ask me why. Bless up, Kyle. And I never understand that. I think you come here on this earth, you do your best, you try to be a good citizen, or a good alien, or whatever, or a good illegal, whatever it is. You do your part, you generate income in your family, you try to live a good life, and then you leave the earth. That's how it should be. This whole heap of stuff that we do outside of that, because some people want to hoard resource or take from others what's not theirs, it's just not a good thing. I believe their ideology or their religion should be preferred. It just escapes me as to what that entails. I don't understand. I'll never understand. And I don't want to understand. But we're about Jamaica football. That's the conversation tonight. But before I jump into that, I'll say this. I know why I'm saying so many arms. I was watching Arsenal against Mansfield. And it gave me hope for Jamaica versus over they played in the playoffs. Because Arsenal is a much better team. Arsenal is a much better team than that team. And it was a tough game. Arsenal didn't have their best squad out, obviously. But the one player, there are a number of players in the Mansfield team that impressed for a League One team. But the kid, Matt Dowman from Arsenal, who just turned 16 a couple months ago. When I watch him play, I was thinking, why can't Jamaica produce some players like that? I mean, the level of ability at 16 playing against grown men, even when he was 15, it's ridiculous. The speed of thought, his skill set, his technical ability, and from my view, and maybe I'm partial, I think he's the best young talent in football. I know people can talk about a lot of other players. I'm not talking about Yamal, who is a different level. But in terms of the Estavals of the world and those younger players, to me, if you watch that kid play, and I mean, watch him play since he come into the team, it's very difficult for a 15-year-old to come to a team like Arsenal, which is a very stacked squad. So looking forward to seeing him play more. And maybe in the second half, given Martinelli not playing well, given Trossard has been atrocious, that he'll get into the team and get more game time. But anyway, let's talk Jamaica football. Because we have a lot to talk about, as I said. Bless up Devonshire. Before I go, I want to say bless up to a couple of people actually. The Unisax family, Danny. I might get myself in trouble when I do this, because you start calling people names, you forget people. Benge, Danny, Howie, who just left this earth. Who else? Samo, Ian, Vivian, Simone, Cassandra. Who else am I missing in the Unisac family? Who's part of the executive body? I think that's it. And then Stuffy, who told me he watched my channel, and I had no, it was Danny's brother. I had no idea what the channel. So, Mr. Green, the Unisac family, and Charles Headlam. I forgot Charles and Mark Grant. See, me not to get myself in that trouble. Shouldn't start. But anyway, let's start Jamaica football. I digress enough. So I want to talk about a few things tonight. Is Jamaica football on the rise? Because when you look across the entire football landscape in Jamaica, right now, something interesting is happening. If the under-17 qualify for the World Cup, we'll touch upon that. The under-20 did what they did the last time. They won the Caribbean group. So they go in the real competition. We'll touch upon that. The girls beat Nicaragua 3-2. Interesting game. And they're leading their zone. We'll touch upon that. And we'll talk about, for the under-20 and for the Reggae Girls, what the qualification in CONCACAF are going to look like when they get to the next round. Under-20 in the next round, when the Reggae Girls get to the next round. And then we talk about the Reggae Boyz, because they have these crucial World Cup playoff games, one against New Caledonia. If they win that game, they'll play against DR Congo. I haven't heard anything about the grievance filed or the complaint filed by Nigeria with FIFA surrounding the eligibility of 6 Congo players who they believe were used illegally to play against, to play in the qualifiers, including the games against Cameroon and Nigeria. But Nigeria is the one doing the complaint. And it's going to be interesting, actually, because if FIFA find on the off of Nigeria, what the hell does that mean? Not only that, you have the situation with Iran, what I'm thinking come to the World Cup, given that their group games have been playing in the US. So how do you replace that? And if you don't replace them with a team from Asia, because that one team will drop out, do you just put Iraq to be that team? But what would that mean for Suriname versus Bolivia? Do you just have the winner go through? So there's a lot to be worked out by FIFA, and I'm sure they're scratching their head and trying to figure out what direction they're going. We'll get to your comments, Owen. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, because FIFA has something to work out first before we get to Guadalajara and have those games. But let's go back to Jamaica football on the rise. Because before we look at results, we have to look at what's been done in the background to inform what's happening on the field. So we think about administration, think about coaching, think about structure. And tonight we're going to look into some of those. Not necessarily in detail, maybe more superficially, but we'll touch upon those. So in terms of administration, if we look at the more recent success of the under-17 and the progress of the under-20, I wouldn't call it progress. They do what they normally do. But if we look at something that's happening, to be fair, there have been some improvements, right? Because we know resources are not in abundance. During the World Cup qualifiers, I think the JFF said they had more sponsors than they had before. You know, sponsors are bandwagonists. They jump on when things go well and then jump off just as bad. We know how that go. Here we go already. People, let me start that. We're going to start jumping. Cranky, don't think you're doing the U20 no justice. They didn't just do what they did last time. They did 100% better than they made it. That's not true. You have no idea what you're talking about. Javon, they did what they did last time, and I'll get into that. Exercise some patience. They did what they did the last time, people. We'll get into that, okay? We'll get into that. I mean, when you're trying to correct me, unless you come correct, we'll correct you. They did what they did the last time. We'll get into that. And people in the chat, tell me if I'm wrong. They did what they did the last time. We'll get into that. They ain't come to dominate nothing and beat one team, Puerto Rico. We're going to get to that, people. Let's not jump ahead. Let's keep the program. We're doing administration first. We can get to the back and forth and argue about what them dominate and how many goals them score. We can't get to that. Because them goal per goal doesn't mean nothing to nobody until they get to a certain level. But let's think about the administration. And you hear Rudolph speak about this, because Rudolph think I only criticize him I don't give him any support or any flowers, which is not true. I think they have done a good job, a pretty good job of realizing that coaching is an imperative, quality coaching is imperative, and they are trying to improve that. Right? So they had the coaching school. They hear people like Unseen and others come and talk about what they're trying to accomplish. You hear Speed talk about what they do in the coaching course in Trinidad. They're setting up their own situation in Jamaica. They're trying to make people get their D and C and outside of life license, F license. I'm just kidding, but B and A, whatever. There are a number of people have A license, a number of people going for pro license, including Speed and a few more people, right? So they're doing a better job of understanding that the only way you're going to improve the players is to improve the coaching, which is important. The federation has also brought in some new blood for different reasons. We see Dennis Chung left, who I thought did a good job when he was there. We see they bring in the St. James person and McFarlane to be the manager for the program. So they bring in some individuals who have some level of some business expertise, which they can leverage for this environment to help improve the organizational support that they need with people with certain requisite skill set to assist them. And that's good for the organization. And there's some attempts to strengthen football developments, which we're seeing more of that. All right? We're seeing more of that. They have put Andrew Peart in charge of being a technical director, a role I think they have never had. And now you're going to give me a hard time and say, well, Wendell Down was the technical director. Wendell Down was a very good footballer. Wendell Downs did a really good job of getting the Under-17 to the World Cup before this one. I think this one was a little bit different. It's much easier this time. They only have to go through one round this time. Versus before, you had all the other teams grouped together. There were less teams in the competition at the World Cup. This time you just have to beat Canada. It's a little bit different. Regardless of what it is, he's been to what? 3 or so World Cup now? Between the Under-17 and other programs. So, but he's not a technical director. He was never a technical director. I listened to an interview with Andrew Peart. I did a show that covered that. And I think Andrew, first of all, he comes across as a very intelligent person, a very knowledgeable person, a very balanced person, a person who is thoughtful. And you can assess the totality of the individual just based on one interview. But I walked away saying, if his ideas and his thought process marries with the support that we hope he gets and his ability to execute, then I would expect Jamaica to develop football philosophy, style of play, and system of play, and effectuate that. That's what I would expect, given what he portrayed in that interview. And my hope is that he's given the support to get it done. Now, I would hope that Andrew would understand that he has to broaden his horizon. You know, when I speak to before the game, who is a Trinidadian who comes on my program and is also in his chat a lot, and he tells me about how he went about gaining the intellect and knowledge he needed to develop his academy and run his academy, because he only started it because he wanted his son to play football. 2 sons were both professional footballers. But him going to like Man City and going to Barcelona and then taking his team when he got them to a good place to go to those environment and play or pick the brain of some of those individuals in those environment, he would have to make himself uncomfortable, which is going into unknown environment that would then enable him to gain knowledge he wouldn't get access to just sitting at home or wherever he lives in down south. Right? So it's very important for each person to realize that for you to improve and get better, you have to do what I call make yourself uncomfortable. You can't sit at home and expect to become an expert on something. You could, but it's not normal. You have to go to different environment, experience different things, pull different things from different people, and sort of make it your own in some respects. And my hope is that Andrew will realize that just the textbook or what he does on the field in Jamaica when he was coaching and knowing that role. If he wants to be really effective and the role to be fruitful and for him to differentiate himself and to get Jamaica to where they want to, then he has to travel. He doesn't have to travel like a football coach, but he has to travel. And he has to continue to learn and evolve. But I think just as important is for him to get the support from the football community, inclusive of the JFF and its board and the parish presidents who have a lot of influence. Now, part of that whole construct is going to be what's this short, medium, and long-term plan. For you to play elite football, it requires you to have long-term planning, strong professional league, world-class infrastructure, and probably most importantly, stable and excellent leadership. I don't think Jamaica has any of those, frankly. And so maybe Andrew will be the start, with along with some of the new people who come in, and maybe a few who are there already of that leadership element. Maybe they can have the business community and be able to influence the business community to invest in the football. And then obviously as part of the whole construct is make sure they plan really well and be able to have the short, medium, and long-term plans to get into the right place. I think that's essential and that's important. In terms of the coaching, I know Bob Granger had come and talked about the government helping to contribute monetary-wise for the coaching clinics to allow them to coach to have like 500 individuals get the D license, which is basic. Some people call it B license basic. But the goal is they got to start someplace. And when you institute that across the island at different levels and start to raise the requirement, the football can only get better. I go back to Spain and think about what Spain has done. And I read Spain's strategic plan. Football ecosystem for them is, and obviously they're a first world country when it comes to football. It's really interesting how they evolved the football and where they are today. And part of that whole construct is they have so many pro licensed coaches. I mean, if you look at the chart of coaches they have at all levels, and they have more pro license than any other country, even though their population is about 40-something million, I think it is. It's really, really interesting, actually. So I think getting these coaches at a certain level where they can impart the knowledge to the kids, can develop their technical ability, is going to be important. Now, I know Rudolph Speed and the ex-Reggae Boyz coach McLaren and others had worked together during COVID to come up with this TDT plan. And supposedly the under-15 team that won the Caribbean Championship, now evolved to the under-17, one can point to them and say, well, they made the World Cup, so it showed that it's working. I guess some JFF people beating their chest about what they've accomplished, but we're going to touch upon that. Before I go further, let me just take some of your comments. But I'm going to jump too far ahead, I'll pull it back. So let me just take some of your comments. Javon said, Cranky. I saw that comment already. Nita said, are the teams they defeated amongst the best in the world? Which of them are among the teams that normally compete in the World Cup? We're going to get to that, actually. So I think that's very important. Triple A said, I listened to the new technical director interview recently, Andrew Peart, and he does have some good insight that I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings to the improvement of the youth program. Yeah, we are looking forward to that. Jack Drummond says, I'm happy with what the U-20 U-17 have done so far. Great job. However, especially for the U-20, next round will tell us what shape we're really in. We're going to get to that, Jack. And then Vacation Phone says, Blessings Cranky, the average football supporter is more sophisticated than in 98. If the recommendations of the supporters about coaching and quality players is correct, why are they wrong? Why are they wrong about the JFF? Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I think a lot of the supporters weren't supportive of McLaren, which proved to be right, actually. Kyle is saying, go back to Spain, use your track and field as an example. GC Foster chums out coaches across the land. The template has always been there, mass-produced coach. Yeah, I mean, it's not only produce coaches, produce quality coaches. I had a friend of mine who went to school with Frano, and he was telling me how brilliant Frano is and some of the things that Frano think about and the physiology of the human construct and all that. It's not just what you see on the field. It's the holistic approach to how you think about athletes and what make them tick and all the things that informs that, right? So that's very, very important. Triple E says, Cranky, I hope he does. With the vast amount of information published by countries, including FIFA committee, it certainly can improve areas of football. Definitely, definitely. Owen says, we need a few editions for the under 20. So I'm going to get to that, people. I'm going to get to that because I have a lot of comments on the under 20. We get to that. Let's go to the under 17 first. I won't spend a lot of time. They made the World Cup. Right? They beat 3 teams to get there. We got the under 20. No, wrong thing. The under 20, they beat 3 teams, right? They had Canada in their zone. They had Aruba in their zone. They had Cayman Islands in their zone. They finished with 9 points. Right? All great. Now, I'll say this. The only team to me that's a footballing country they played was Canada. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal because if you think about the CONCACAF region, Mexico, the US, and Canada are the top 3 countries, and they're the ones hosting the men's FIFA World Cup. Then you may have Costa Rica and Panama around there someplace chipping in as part of that 5 group. But the top 3 are those 3. Mexico and US back and forth. I think US in the last few years have taken over Mexico. But it's here or there with them. And then you have Canada there. And Canada have what I call their golden generation now, which is very important. But so in this zone, from I've been growing up until now, I never considered Cayman Islands and Aruba to be footballing nations. And they still aren't. So I don't count those games. And people get all excited. I'm like, settle. And against Canada, look, the team won. They should be congratulated. What I noticed in the Jamaica team, though, versus those other teams for the under-17 is they're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster, they're more athletic, and they bully the teams. However, when they played Canada, you know, remind me of when I used to go to school in Jamaica? You know, the Campion school and the Prairie school, those schools which have the nice players in a nice uniform, and they maybe could play some football, but when you come to the rugged part of the thing, it don't work. When you're on 20 played Canada, and they beat Canada 3-1, that's where the comment about did the better team win the game? And people are going to say, how can the better team lose the game? Canada had about, 70% possession? Or 72%? The kids had about 28% possession, which is really interesting. Now, when I watched the game, I thought Canada was a bit unsophisticated the way they approached the game. They dominate possession, but when they get to the 18, they didn't know what to do. What was disappointing for me is some of the Jamaican kids have technical ability. They're skillful, and they're physical, and they're quick. But in the entire, and I watched the entire game, and I know I don't watch those youth games, but I said, let me, brother pushing me to watch, let me watch. And I didn't do any watch along with those games. Because one of the reasons why I don't, because, me and the quota thing, I'm just not having it. And I was talking to somebody today, and they told me only 2 teams in CONCACAF, and they're an informed party, have quota system. I forgot who the 2 teams were. They gave me the 2 teams who had quota system. The rest of the teams do have quota. But then again, the rest of them may not have the same. Well, that's not true, because a lot of them have the same abundance of diaspora people like we do. Only 2 teams have quota. But the whole second half, we didn't make 3 passes. I couldn't call nowhere in the second half, but we made 3 consecutive passes. And it's very, very important, people. It's very important not just to look at outcome. If you want to make progress in life, the immediacy of outcome is important, but it sometimes may not be an imperative. Now, getting to the World Cup is very important. The question would be, can you play the same way when you get there? So even though I was extremely happy about the win, and we won, I was disappointed on the performance. Because I was saying to myself, if you just kick the ball to the opponent, you give them a chance to come at you. Now, Canada only scored a penalty, but look at the goals we scored. The first one was the center half of Canada never glanced throughout the entire sequence of play going forward. Second goal was a defender hesitated a mistake, and I think it was Levy did a great job of scoring. And Jamari Nolan was just better than that, right? So he's played for the under-20. But the point I'm trying to make is that even though I'm happy, I am thinking ahead and saying, we got to improve the players. Because I realized with the under-17 and the under-20, when we pass half line, unless we're on the wings and running quick, we're lost. And that's why I am encouraged and discouraged. I'm encouraged by us investing in coaching. And we know the GFF actually has now had all the coaches are locally born and locally based, at least for the junior team for the boys and for the senior team. And it looks like that's the direction we're going in. I think for the Reggae Girls, I don't think he's locally born, but he's Jamaican parentage. But they are locally born, locally based, which I don't have a problem with, to be honest. Because then you pay a lot of money to overseas-based coaches and we get the same outcome. But my hope is that the parochialism and the blinkers we have when we're local and the pressure you have when you're local, you can't fight off those people who want to interfere when you're local. It's not as easy because you have obligations and you have the links thing and you have the manafita food thing. And those things are a problem sometimes when you are locally born and locally based versus somebody who come from outside who have none of those obligations, who have none of those affiliations. They're just going to do what's best for the program in their mind. May not be what's best, but in their mind what's best. Right? You're not getting pulled in 10 different directions. But my hope is that the knowledge of the culture, the improved learning in the coaching will allow us to better develop the football. If you improve the coaches, which is what Payne did materially, and made them elite coaches, then hopefully you'll have elite outcomes. So yes, the Jamar Nolans of the world, the Levies of the world played well in that tournament. I think the goalkeeper was very good. I think the defense in Franklin was very, very good. But I realize whether it's the senior team, whether it's the junior teams, or maybe just football in general, going down the middle of the park to penetrate teams, it's a big struggle. But I did think that they were very organized defensively. Even that penalty situation was a little bit rushed by one of the players. I didn't think it was a penalty. People said it was. Maybe I couldn't see from a good angle. I thought defensively they were very sound. I just think that in contemporary football, you have to be able to keep the ball. Otherwise, if you have the ball, their team can't score. They can't get the ball. If you keep giving it away, it becomes a problem. And when you can keep the ball, it shows how technical you are. So the under-17 did well, and we hope they do well in the next level. I still think they need some additions there, but we'll see what happens. I think it depends on who they play in the World Cup. If they can enforce their physicality on their opponents, they'll get by some teams. But when you reach real technical teams, what's physical you are, becomes more challenging. I'll take some more comments before I go to the under-20. Because this way I'm going to be getting beat up. So let me do that. Somebody says, fake news with Greenwood starting the game. We'll get to that. Javon says, football nations are not. From U-15 upwards, not senior, the teams are creating goal scoring opportunities even against poor teams in the past. It's not a long ball or set piece. We're not scoring. We get to Javon's comment. Owen said, Jamaica had the right approach to get to the results. Pray. Can they have the better players overall, though? Yeah, you wouldn't think that, right? Because if you look at the under-17 and the under-20, we bully inferior teams, like bully them. When we meet up Puerto Rico or Canada, it wasn't the same. We didn't bully them. We scored against Canada, but we didn't bully Canada. Like I said, they had 70% possession or 72% possession. But we scored the goals, and sometimes that's how it goes. And beating Canada is a big thing. It's a big thing. Gus Meter said, Jamaica had a 2-goal margin from early in that Canada game since we only need a draw. I was not scared of Canada making up the deficit once. They did appear to be a team that could hurt us. They didn't appear. Yeah, I don't think they created them opportunities. I think they're technically better in terms of the ability to keep the ball, which I find really interesting. I thought we would do a better job of keeping the ball. against Canada. Because Canada to me wasn't that team that was so physical to pressure you and make you uncomfortable. And second half, we just boot the ball on the field and boot the ball on the field. I understand that they get away from your area, but if you have the ball, you run more time off the clock, then you kick it to them and they come back at you. So I thought that was interesting. Owen says, Austin don't have local mindset. He said himself, a lot of locals are not rated, so I think he will add foreign players once they have. This is where I get myself in trouble. See, I'm not going to say it. Most local Jamaican coaches have local mindset. I'm sorry. Yes, Austin played at a decent level. He played in Europe. Did he play Championship or League One? He played in one. I forgot where he played. But yes, he's been exposed. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to get to the under-20 now. So the under-20 played what? A number of games, right? And they just beat up teams. And they scored like 28 goals. And then the last game they played was against Puerto Rico. I think Turks and Caicos got about 3, St. Martin got 6, Angola got 15. Them country not even play sports, people. When we start seeing them score, they start saying, I'm not a football country then. When Jamaica give you 15 love, you don't play football. Sorry, we ain't that good. They play Puerto Rico. Now, to be fair with the Puerto Rico team, even though it's Puerto Rico, and you say, when a baseball them player, like Dominican Republic, they're improving in football. The Puerto Rico team had players that play in MLS Next, or some of them are in academy in Spain, right? Or some maybe in college. So they have players who are playing at a halfway decent level. And it's not the same Puerto Rico that we know that don't play football, or play basketball and baseball and don't play football. But if you watch the game, it reminds me of the under-17 against Canada game in terms of ability to keep the ball. Now, I think the under-20 team was better against Puerto Rico than the under-17 was against Canada, to be honest, even though the under-17 team scored more goals. But it took a world-class goal for us to put away a Puerto Rico team, which I didn't think was that great. But even Puerto Rico kept the ball on the ground better than we did. And I attribute that to the coaching that the players receive, because some of those players, I say, are playing in MLS Next, or they're playing in Spain, versus what our players receive. Now, to be fair, for the under-17 and 20, we do have players who are Jamaican-born, who reside in the U.S. or in Canada. A few of them may be overseas-born, who should be going through some of those same programs, whether they're Inter Miami or wherever they are. But I did find that really interesting, actually, about the still inability to keep the ball on the ground. And the under-20 team, to me, well, the last time under-20 played, so let's go back to Javon's comment. He said, Cranky, he's basically saying, Cranky, you're off. They did better than the last time. No, they didn't. The last time they won the Caribbean region, I don't care about these scores. We don't want to hear about the scores. That don't mean they do any better. They didn't do any better. They played Puerto Rico, for Christ's sake, to get there. Right? Wasn't better than the last time. But the last time we went there, we played USA, Cuba, and Costa Rica. And I was doing some research before I came on, and that's the first thing that popped up for under-20 was the 15 love we got in those 3 games, which I've talked about ad nauseum. Now, for the under-20, I think we had one player from Holland in the team, the right back, who's a good player. I think he's in whatever team he's in the Eredivisie, he's on the cusp of the first team. I think we had Jamar Nolan. I think he started that game, but he missed a couple of easy sitters to me. Good player, going to be a very good player. But when you step up a class, because you go from under-17 to under-20, you have to step up your game accordingly. And I don't think he did in that final game. I think Jamaica should put the game away in the first half, actually. And they made the game closer than it really was. And they were holding on in the second half. But in the next round. Now, in the next round, it becomes much more difficult. Because if you look at the next round for the U-20, you have 12 teams that are there. Right? I think you have 12 teams. You have 3 rounds. The winner of each round goes to the World Cup. So you see on the right and on the left, the teams on the left, based on the ranking from the last World Cup competition, they got a bye. The 6 teams in the blue on the right, they then go through based on this last competition. All of them won their zone. to go through. So now you'd have, I think it's you have the quarterfinals, you have the group stage, the top 2 teams and the 2 best third place team from each zone will go through. They'll have quarterfinals, they'll have semifinals, and then their finals. 4 teams qualify for the World Cup. Right? Of the 12 teams. So 1/3 of them going to qualify for the World Cup. Or is it? Yeah. 4 teams qualifying. So 33% will qualify for the World Cup. So it should be interesting next round. They have to win, what, about 3 games? Somewhere in that region. Not go through in terms of the final, but I think you'll win your zone you go through. For 4 teams going to qualify from based on this competition. And the World Cup is in 2027. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out for Jamaica. Because it's 3 groups of 4, and then they play off, and the top 4 teams are in the semifinal. They go to the World Cup. So it's going to be tough. Now, I'll say this about that. And this is to Rudolph Austin, because I know some JV people watch my channel. In fact, enough of them watch my channel, even though they protest that they don't. You need more players, and you need better players. Seriously. When I watch the under-20, you blow away some teams. If you struggle with Puerto Rico, and you go into the next level with the Mexico and the US and the Cubas and the Haitis of the world, even Canada's of the world, because I think Nicaragua beat Canada, even though Canada won their zone. You need better players. Now, there are some players out there. What's the name of the kid who plays for New York Red Bulls? He was in the second call up for the World Cup qualifiers. Is his name Seymour? Is it Seymour Reed, whatever his name is? Plays for New York Red Bulls. I would call him up to the under-20. He ain't gonna be in the Reggae Boyz squad. I call him up to the under-20, and hopefully they get released by his club. There are kids there are a number of kids actually I'm aware of who would like to play for the Jamaica Under-20 team, who are just, I'll be frank, not using euphemism, just better than what we have right now, who should be called into the team. A number of them actually. 1, 2. It's a big number, so I'm not going to call it out a big number. It's a big number of people. Just playing better players. The under-20, when I watch them play against Puerto Rico, I thought this was funny. They look brilliantly in their own half with no pressure. They look brilliant when they get to the halfway line. As soon as it passes the halfway line, get some pressure, the ball turn over. They look brilliant when they had no pressure. As soon as they get pressure, then turn over the ball. Now, sometimes it seems unfair to kids if they got to a certain stage to replace them, but that's football. If you have better players, you have better players. And there are a number of better players that are out there. Some I'm aware of, like the one I just mentioned. And he's Jamaican born, by the way, even though he plays in the US. Who are just better players and should come into the team. If they want to get to the World Cup, they got to improve the squad. So, Rudolph Austin, I don't know what pressures you're getting in Jamaica as to do what and who plays where. But you need to understand that your reputation is on the line. Your legacy is on the line. The accolades are on the line for you. And as a footballer who's played at a decent level, you know that camaraderie is good, chemistry is good, but talent is better. So you need to get that talent and bring the talent in and use the talent to help you achieve your objective, which is get to the World Cup. And not only get there, to perform there. As I said, there are a number of players who are in professional academies, are playing for teams at a certain level, who can assist the team and improve the team to get rid of that baggage they had last time they were at this level. So people like Javon talking about they did much better than last time. I'd never compare Jamaica to the Caribbean when I'm doing anything, because the Caribbean is not the competition. The competition is the rest of CONCACAF outside the Caribbean. It's mainly North America and Latin America. It's Costa Rica, it's Panama, it's USA, it's Mexico, it's Canada, and to a lesser extent, the Nicaraguas and the Honduras and the El Salvadors of the world. Last time El Salvador was the one that knocked out the under-17. This year we got through. and went through Canada, which is a huge accomplishment. Even though I thought Canada was a little bit soft, but who cares how soft they are? They play good football, but they're probably the best quote unquote team per se in terms of all the attributes need to get over the line was the Jamaica team. So this is the setup to get there. As you can see, they have group stage, then they got quarterfinal, semifinal, 4 team goes. Cuba went the last time. Jamaica can go. I mean, when Cuba start going in front of you and Cuba have no money, people, you know, them have what, 9 million people plus. It says something. They have no resources. They're doing more with less than we are. We got to change that. Let me see any other comments here. Signal saying Jamaica had a 2-goal margin for Earth game. Okay, now we talk about that already. Austin don't have a local mindset. He said himself a lot of locals. Yeah, well, I don't totally agree with that. I think everybody in Jamaica have a local mindset. They may expand their mindset, but I think they have a local mindset. At least most of the people I encounter. And by the way, I was listening to somebody's program, even though I haven't really listened to him in the last few weeks. And I heard when you're on a 17-1, and I heard the laudatory praise. I heard nobody who had a critical analysis. I even hear Maverick talking about, told me some people. I mean, somebody says, well, we have people who can, in the under 17 and 20, they can matriculate to the national team. They could go in there right now. And I'm sitting there thinking, what's wrong with these people? You have no idea how to assess a football player and a football player's potential versus actuality and what they can do now versus what they can do in the future. What are we talking about? None of these players that play with the under 20, under 17 can get into the national team. None, not one. From where I sit, none. Not one player. So when I hear people talking about that, you're talking nonsense. Sorry, hate to be dismissive, but it's nonsense. None of them at the level to get into the national team at this moment. They have potential, they're not able to do so. Not this time anyway. Let me see the comments here before I go further. Austin, Captain East United scored back-to-back goals in this championship. Yeah, he played in the championship, yeah. I have watched him play in the championship. I just couldn't remember who played for it. No, he played for a number of years and played well. He played CDM. Played well. The thing is, all these Jamaicans are supposed to be beating the U-20, so nothing exceptional. Just waiting to see how they play as bigger nations. Yep. Totally agree. Going to say one of Martin, 2 Green entry the burden that the blowout from USA and Costa Rica could have been expected because we didn't even look good against this team. We're better than. Okay. So he's saying in the previous year, we didn't destroy, but Martinique played football. Grenada played football. Bermuda try. When we play Cayman Islands and come on. Cayman Islands. Really? Don't play football. Martinique play football. Martinique have football history. Grenada have a look at that history. Jamaica just play a great Grenada and beat them like 2-0 in the senior team and beat them 2-0. So they're not Cayman Islands. They're not St. Martin. None of those teams. Keeper playing the US. The keeper's a very good keeper, by the way. I'm very impressed with the keeper. Command both for the under 17 and under 20. They command the area really well. No, a lot of them played. A lot of the kids play overseas, but Reed Seymour, yeah, Seymour Reed. He should be the under 20 team. They should bring him in. It's New York FC, not Red Bulls. Okay. I don't even follow New York football, MLS football or New York football, so I wouldn't know. I know he wasn't in the senior team. They called him up. I guess they're trying to convince him not to play for the US at some point. Oh, he was called up. Okay. I didn't know he was. He's a good player. Really good player. Cranky can only play the team that in front of you. We wall up the weak teams and ultimately for the more difficult team by means. No. I totally agree with that. T-Mal. Totally agree with that. People, I don't disagree now. But the point I'm trying to make is this, is that when I watch teams play, I'm looking for certain things from those teams, regardless of who the opposition is. And the more stiffer the opposition, the more scrutiny I provide to see how you can navigate those difficult situations. Because going forward, it's only going to be more difficult teams. Going forward, you won't have the same, as they call it, Jamaica. I'm labeling myself now, my timeline, SOPs. You won't have the same easy teams to play. Every game from now on is going to be much more challenging. You see that list up there? Look at the list of teams up there. USA, Mexico, Honduras, Panama, Cuba, Guatemala. You go to Canada, Jamaica, El Salvador, Haiti, Costa Rica. I mean, probably only one team in the blue under bottom is the easy team. Every team, they won their zone on the blue, and to the left, they got a bye to come in. It's going to be a much more difficult competition. So it's important for you to build up to a crescendo to allow you to get over the line and be able to get to the World Cup. John from Ajax and play for the World Cup. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to come, though. Some people tell me that he wants to play for Holland. We'll see. But if you play for U20, it doesn't affect your allegiance or your ability to play for your country, for any country you want to play for. Signal said U20 was not pressed. Puerto Rico got into position to shoot, but they failed to get off any shots on target. They will beat. Yeah. It's going to be a whole different competition. That's what I'm saying. They need better players. Yeah, we need better players. But look, before I go further from the junior teams, we have this quota system, and here's my philosophy on quotas. So this is going to sound really bad. Unless you have a history of like the US where you have racism and you're trying to give people an opportunity because they've been historically denigrated, belittled, you've been racist to them, disadvantaged. I don't think you should have a quota system. So I don't believe in the quota system for the football team. All you're telling me is that they think the kids in Jamaica are not good enough. That's why you have a quota system. If you say you're trying to give them opportunity, that means they're not good enough right now. Right? They're not good enough. Because if they were good enough, you didn't need the quota system. So I would say that if I was Jamaica, I would tell the kids to step up their game. Now that you said the coaching is... So I have a question for Jamaica administration. Because someone not watch the program. I know someone not watch it. When do you believe you're going to get to the point where you don't need to have a quota system? Okay, if you're good enough, why would you have a quota system? All right? So is it a 5-year plan? Is it a 10-year plan? This is for Andrew Peart. Hey, Andrew, when do you think you're going to be able to implement the system, the structure, and what's required to get the players to a level where they can compete against anybody, whether internal or external? Internal meaning against diaspora players. Because let me just tell you something, people, which Jamaica going to run into. Right now, the quota system is about non-Jamaican-born players. Let me tell you this. At some point, you're going to have a situation where, because US and Jamaica are like, Jamaica is like US 55th state. If you take Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, well, the 56th state. That's why we decided not to have no Cuban doctors, because we're under US rule. And we can't fight that. I don't want. We're under US rule. See, if you're under US rule, there are a lot of Jamaican kids who are seeing now. Oh, Lord, Alex, we're not taking no call to me done. We're not taking no call to me done. I go to my soliloquy first. It's a long soliloquy, people. Bear with me. Alex, we'll take the call when I'm done. There are a lot of players, people, who are born in Jamaica and have migrated, whether to Canada or the US. And we're seeing that now in the junior teams. At some point, it won't be like England, where they're second and third generation. So they're born in the UK of, say, the English parents and their grandparents, they get their naturalization through. You're going to have Jamaican persons who may live Jamaica at 4, 5, 6, whatever it is. So they're not even first generation. They're born in Jamaica. You may have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them who are matriculated to Canada or to the US. What not do? Change the rule and say you have to live in Jamaica. What if you have 10 players born in Jamaica who have migrated and then play MLS next and then Canada system and all that, but they want to play for Jamaica? Or some, like one I'm aware of, who is in Germany, right? And they decide they want to play for Jamaica. What are you going to do? Change the rules? Because no longer they're Jamaican born, So you could have 10, 15, 20 players who are in the team who are born in Jamaica but live outside Jamaica. That's what the parish president going to do. Who are boss of youth. What am I do? At some point, you have to realize that there has to be an open competition. May the best man or best woman win. And you have a setup where the players who are citizens of your country, so you're a Jamaican citizen, have the same rights and privileges afforded any person, regardless of where they're born, like in any other country. So my hope is that at some point, the coaching will get to a point where we don't have an excuse. So because they have more resources and they have more this, that it's based on ability not based on where I live, where I was born, and where I live. Right? So, but I hope the under-20 does well. But I think they need to supplement that team with more players. Otherwise, they're going to struggle in the next round. You see, the teams are out there. They're going to struggle in the next round. Now, let's move to the Reggae Girls. Let's move to the Reggae Girls. Now, I watched the Reggae Girls play against Nicaragua. I didn't watch the first game. I think they played against Dominica. I didn't watch the first game. But I watched them play against Nicaragua. And it was an interesting game. They beat Nicaragua 3-2. The game should have been about 10-1, frankly. When I watched the team play, they actually, this going to sound really bad, they kept the ball on the ground better than any of the boys' team, men's or boys' team. The women kept the ball on the ground and tried to play through the lines better than the under-17 men boys' team, the under-20 boys' team, and the senior boys' team. No doubt. It's a recycled team. They got to bring in some new blood. I was communicating with somebody about that, actually. Somebody who's very close to the team. But they need some new blood. They have somebody. They brought in a new center half. I don't know why her name is eluding me now. Really good player. But I thought Blackwood, Shah, the goalkeeper Spencer. I think she's been eating one too many burgers. They can't play football and look like why miss no food. You get to be that crass, but you miss no meal. Yeah, athlete Spencer, you have to change that. You're 35 and you go up there, but you have to change that. Yeah, you're competitive athlete. You have to eat that food, but why? Anyway, let me keep going. So, but the girls tried to put it on the ground. I thought Blackwood was very, very good on the wing. I thought Cameron struggled. I thought Van, what's her name? I'm always messing up the girl. I'm messing up her name. The one that came on. I thought she struggled with her control. I thought Bunny missed some goal, boy, I tell you. At Bunny's level, because Bunny a world-class player. The first header she missed. Lord, you missed that. But Bunny, I play in the box, I tell you. My forward goalkeeper can't do them thing there. Should I play in the box where I defend in our back and she stop it and she do a quick thing, put it back and bring it forward and take the shot. I said, Jamaica forward, them can't do them thing there. Jamaica forward can't do them thing there. Bunny have ridiculous quality. We need a few more Bunny shine on our team. We miss Spence in our midfield, even though she's up there now past 30. It's my understanding that some new players going to come in. Some new players will come in. They have some new commitments, but you need players who play in the US system, who are probably part of the US program, and the English system, part of the English program, and Canadian system. Because they have some of the best women teams in the world. And you need to convince them to come play for Jamaica. And we need to make sure that, as Rudolph Speed is doing with the Reggae Boyz to get people over the line, that we're doing the same thing with the Reggae Girls. Now, the girls obviously beat Nicaragua. That's the only competition they have in this zone. They beat Dominica, about 18. Then beat Nicaragua 3-2, which was closer than it should be. The winner of each zone goes through, so they'll go through. So now when you get to the next round, right? When you get to the next round for the women's, this is what it's going to look like. The USA and Canada have gotten buys. So they don't have to play anybody in this round that Jamaica's playing in. The 16 that will go through from these other rounds, because there's about 3 more games remaining, I think. But these teams will go through. Mexico, Jamaica, Costa Rica, Haiti, Panama. They'll have 8 teams in the next round. Of these 8 teams, 4 will qualify for the World Cup and 2 will go into intercontinental playoffs. Right? So Jamaica's challenge is going to be this. US and Canada are almost automatic. And Mexico is becoming that way. I think Mexico has improved dramatically over the last 2 World Cup cycles. So Jamaica challenge is going to be Mexico and Haiti. So Jamaica, Mexico and Haiti are going to be fighting for 2 spots. Automatic spots, I should say. Obviously, Trinidad is there too. I think it's Jamaica, Mexico, and Haiti fighting for 2 spots. Haiti's very good. Haiti's people across all the competition, Haiti doing really well. If our country, we don't have no country, they might do really well. So then you see there'll be quarterfinals. The 4 winners there that round will go through not first 4 winners, but you'll have the quarterfinals, which is the A teams, and then as I said, 4 teams qualify automatically to go to the World Cup, and then it's going to be into the continent playoff, the 2 teams. So in the quarterfinals, I think there's a round robin, and the top 4 teams go through, and the 2 teams, so the 5th and 6th place team, get to play some teams from another region to go to the World Cup. So this region, CONCACAF may have 6 teams in the World Cup, actually, versus the traditional, like the Under-20 boys have 4. But if you look at the teams, it's going to be between Mexico, Jamaica, and Haiti. Some people are saying Panama, maybe spoilers, but look, if Jamaica does the recruiting, I think it will be doing, and Pika, and if we help the Jamaica team get some more players, we can't use the same recycled players. I'm comfortable with my defense. I'm comfortable with my center forward. If Spence come in, I'm comfortable with my CDM. But that's it. I'm not comfortable nowhere else. And I want to see baby sister is not there anymore. Is it lady's name Harris? I can't remember her name. But she's very good in the center half, by the way. I'm not comfortable with right back either. I'm not telling you. I think Cameron kind of pass her time. But regardless, I think it's a very good team. And they try to play football. You can see the coaching people. They're trying to keep the ball. They're trying to keep the ball. And they do a decent job of keeping the ball. Now, when the competition gets stiffer, it becomes harder to do. I think at some point, with Jamaica, when they play against the US or Canada, I think Bunny Shaw should play the 10, not the center forward. I know they brought in Thomas. I thought Thomas just wasn't ready for this, to be honest. I know she plays in England. I wasn't overly impressed about her game, to be honest. I thought she was shooting the ball like a girl. I know that sounds hard. Why did I say that? She just wasn't shooting the ball. She wasn't shooting right. She had kick out and miss. I didn't think she was ready. Bunny Shaw is too slow to play 10. Now, Drew Ross, here's my view on that with Drew Ross. So, when we play the best teams in the world, Bunny Shaw gets no service. No service. And you want Bunny Shaw to touch the ball as much as possible. Bunny Shaw is a big-time player, people. Not just because she's a girl. She's a big-time footballer. Watch her touch. Watch her control. Watch 2 foot. She's just a big-time footballer. Just quality player. All around quality. Slower than, she probably could eat like Spencer a little bit less and be a little bit more nimble and mobile and more flexible. But our body help her in terms of just bullying defenders. Skill, our touch. Sometimes people, she make some pass and some touch there. People not even realize them thing there. All them see are the goals, them she score or things that she do. But her reading of the game, I guess she's played at a certain level. Sometimes she makes some one-time pass. Our teammate doesn't realize the pass is coming and then mess it up and she look bad. I know she bad and make mistake. Right? Jody Brown not injured. Jody doesn't produce at the highest level now. Jody look good against them like a team. Jody go play at a certain level. Jody just look like a young deer flying. Taylor Hines is still not cap-tied yet. So we'll see what happens. We know she came. We took too long to naturalize her. She went back to England, Carla. Them still nowadays, man, try to fight everybody to take them players. They still didn't cap her. I don't think they capped her yet. So we'll see what happens. I think there's a 5% chance, but not sure about Taylor Hines. But we should have an expeditious process. Player come in, cap you, it done. When I spend no time about this and that, if you go to land and go do this, no, sir. You want to come in, you show interest, yeah. But I think Taylor Hines will be a big addition to the team. But the team is good. The team is good, but they need some younger players. And it's my understanding some younger players will come in. They're going to bring in some players. Drew Hines not coming back. It's not 100% sure she's not coming back. I hear you. I'm getting feelings hurt. So for the Reggae Girls, I'm optimistic. Because remember, we are host country in 2031. And you want to make sure 2027 you're there. That'll be 4 World Cups in a row the girls got to. Unprecedented. And more and more every year is more money for this World Cup, you know. The Women World Cup next time going to be even bigger and better than the last one. So we have to get there. I think they got to go recruit the players. And whatever source would us be like you used to get passport, them to do the same thing. Okay, if you think Heinz gone, she gone. So let's go to the Reggae Boyz now, which is the main core feature of today's evening. So it is my understanding, and a lot of people's understanding, because I hear Maverick talking about it, that the 26-man squad has been picked. I see some people. By the way, people, we have 170 people and 85 likes. I haven't done this in a while. I'm not begging thing anymore. That's why I do so much show as me used to. I think about cancel YouTube. Anyway, give me up to 100 likes, people, because I know so cheap and don't look a likes thing. Oh, I'm begging up. Get me my feelings this evening. If you don't want to give me, you don't want me not beg no likes. If you don't want to give me no likes, I'm keeping no likes. Me not my attitude this evening. Me not like. Keep it no likes. If you don't put no like already, keep it back. Keep it like. Me not beg no like. You know, I give me don't like the program, don't like it. Your prerogative. Just like some players now want to complete with Jamaica, stay on the yard. Before I start up with Jamaica players, must say this to me. Must say this, people. I hear people talking about, including Cranky, by the way, 5 players were supposed to come, right? And get their papers. And it's been published that 5 players got their papers. How do I put this? Sometimes, not every person who get their papers decide to come for whatever reason. So you're burn out some people this evening. You're burn out some people this evening when it comes to the football, Reggae Boyz football. I must say something to you. If you are not born in Jamaica, listen to me carefully, people. I know me just say what in my mind. Me now come on my mouth. Jamaica has to go play New Caledonia. If they win, they play Congo. And the most important thing between now and the few games before that first game is for our players don't to get injured. It's very important. Because I think Jamaica's best player at this point is now out. To me, the Jamaica best player was playing at the highest level and playing quality football and looked like him ready after him have ACL injury. Rico Henry will not be here because he pulled up his hamstring for Brentford, which is really, really bad for Jamaica. I thought the left back was secure and more locked on the right. Because watch him up against Saka and watch him up against Madwe kind of people. And I said, yes, Rico ready. Well, Rico not ready no more. Rico tear up his hamstring, so Rico will not be with us. Which is very, very sad. Which is actually disconcerting, to be honest. Very upsetting. Because you want to give yourself the best chance to win. We'll have to do it without Rico. Now, we have other left back, but it's not the same. Greg Lee now playing on football, my understanding, who has been very good for Jamaica, by the way. Still have Mari Bell. I put him on a Cottonwood from now on. Still probably have Ronaldo Webster, who I think didn't, when he came, he played against Bermuda, I think, but not much more. So it's not a good thing. Amara Bella plays center back nowadays, but he can't play left back. And Ronaldo Webster play Conference League or whatever, so they can pop in. If we think about, so I go back to my point about the passport. Let me just say this. I'm dead serious. If you have come to Jamaica, I'm not talking about like Jonathan Rowe, who came to Jamaica, got their own papers, and then go back to where they are. If you are born overseas, you become a Jamaican citizen, you go to JFF to get your passport. You go to that channel. And then when it's time to come, you say you now come, like what Greenwood do, you should be blacklisted. You should never play for Jamaica again. Let me just repeat that. I'm not cover my mouth. I'm not talking on quiet. Because I don't know, say me support the non-quota thing and me support diaspora. If you are Jamaican by citizenship, by naturalization, and you didn't go on your own to go to the Jamaican citizenship, you went to the JFF to say, I want to come to you because I want to play for Jamaica, and then you change your mind, you should never play for Jamaica again. This is not people who decide, you know what? I want to play for England, like Hayden did. That's your prerogative. You're born in England. You should play for England. If you decide not to, we're glad to have you if you're good enough. Yes, Cranky's in his feeling, Conrad. Cranky 9 feelings. Now my feelings. And people, me talk about certain things because I know certain things and me talk about certain things, you know. If I know something, me not talk about it. Me know certain things and me talk about certain things. I should say that. If you are a person who come to the JFF and say, JFF, President Ricketts, I want to play for Jamaica. Can you get me to the process? And then do, and you get the papers and you see no one come, you'll get blacklisted. I know someone will lose in the mind when they come to Greenwood. Me not care. You get blacklisted. You are a user. You are not a good person. I have no problem seeing no one coming now. If you come to the JFF and say, you know what? Can you get my papers in, but I'm not sure when to play, but can you help me get the papers? That's a different story. If you come with the view, you're going to play and you change your mind. I'm not having that. And someone will do that. I'm not good enough to play for England. I play for France and nobody. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. Seriously, I'm not good enough. Me know I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not wait for England. You keep wait. In fact, you go wait. But don't come and use people. If you come to the JFF and say, look, JFF, I want to get naturalized. Can you help me? But I'm not sure I'm going to play for you. That's a different construct, you know. If you try to deceive me, forget your papers, you have to go away. I'm sorry, you have to go away. There's a difference between you getting on your own. If you get on your own, your Jamaican heritage, like I did, it's all good. You don't play for Jamaica, we don't have a problem. You wait for England, you wait for USA, we happy for you. If you came to JFF and said, look, JFF, I want the papers, but I'm sure I'm going to play for you. But I'm fine with that. You don't want to make up your mind yet, you vacillate, that's your prerogative. If you come and say, me want to play for you, and you change your mind, me don't want to have you. I'm a blacklist you. If you're blacklisted, that's me. But who not like that? Too bad, can't help you. Because you're a user. Nobody use you. Nobody using your life, people. It's not okay to do that. It's unfair to do that. You create expectation, you create a certain thing, and it's not fair. Go wait pan we are wait pan. Go and go wait. Go and go wait. We don't have no problem with you waiting. I have no problem with people. Hey, look, people, you're born. It's like somebody born in Jamaica, and you said the person say, and they have Chinese descent, or they're Trinidad descent, and they want to play for China. You may be upset as Jamaican, you know? I said, look, boy, we raise them and we guide them through school, and we give them the coaching, them leverage infrastructure. And that's how the English players are coming to Jamaica. You know? I can understand that. People, you're born. I have no problem with that. But if you come to the JFF and say, I want to play for you, and then you change your mind, come with some, you know what, excuse, we don't want to bother with you. But I said, that's Cranky. That's not the JFF. And some of these players are not that good to be worrying about them that much anyway. So anyway. So I picked my revised 26-man squad because I heard this one. Cranky, which player we doing this, that though? It's like a girl you want to carry out for dinner every weekend, but just as friends. Well, some people do that, you know. I had a friend of mine who, I'm gonna give you a quick story. I had a friend of mine, a friend of mine who passed away recently with a lot of friends who were girls. Like, they love him to death. They go, you know, she's like 3-4 girls go breakfast. And by the way, he wasn't that way. That's, I mean, on the stairs. I don't talk about why mama. No, he was just the nicest person ever to everybody. God rest his soul, as them say. You know, someone who believes in a God. He's the best person ever. Nobody, you know, we went to the wake, and I was the person who wouldn't call it MC, but ran the whole thing. Everybody just cannot believe the person left us. And not only that, nobody, I mean, so when me pass, some people say, hey, that Cranky, if we go a long time, you know. Man, that us create some narrative thing and thing. If we go, that person, nobody had, anybody who say a bad word again wouldn't believe them. The best person ever. And he had friends who were girls, like a lot of friends who were girls. In fact, some of them, I was separate event theme, kind of so nice. I would love to be that way, but I'm not. So, hey, too bad. So on the dinner for the food. I think every avenue should be a road for a player. South America, you have Norman Campbell in the J League. You have the French league. I think every route where you can apply your trade that give you an opportunity should be an avenue for our players. At one time, the MLS was the avenue, but they now are very South America focused. And even England, they've always had the old players come in who passed their prime. But nowadays, Jamaica has not been that avenue anymore. They've gone South America quite a bit and Latin America quite a bit. They should watch how Hayden this Jamaica did make of England. Did make it straight. Yeah, no, I look, Hayden thing, I didn't have a problem with Hayden thing, actually. People that have a problem with Hayden, I didn't have a problem with Hayden. I didn't have a problem with Hayden. Say he's waiting for England. He's born in England. Why not wait? He could be waiting in vain, but why not wait? Like you see a girl you like, and as I'm saying that, quote unquote, she out of your league, but you hope so she change her mind. Maybe one day she come in your league, maybe you get rich, or she get poor, one of them. That's why she come in your league. But I didn't have a problem with Hayden. I didn't. But what I have a problem with is you coming and saying, hey, Ricketts, hey, Rudolph, can you get my papers? Come play for you. And then when we get this, say, oh, you know what? Me change my mind. You change your mind after you get the papers, then. But you can have other alternative to get the papers, then. You have to go away. Sorry. That's Jamaica this if you go away. We none of that. Yeah, Hayden didn't this Jamaica. Hayden was advocating for his country, not against Jamaica. There's a difference. And look, people, let me say something about this. Because people don't understand this. Some of these kids are second generation, you know. They're not no affiliation with Jamaica, you know. This is not like the US where next door, where all the kids, them, you hear people like Busta Rhymes that talk about Jamaica and him sound more American than anybody else. But the Jamaica like next door. Jamaica closer than California, you know. Take me, what, 5 6 hours to go to California. Jamaica, what, 4 hours? Jamaica closer than California. So the distance, proximity affects association, affiliation. Now, I'll say this. A lot of kings in England, even the 1, 2nd, and 3rd generation, they're Jamaican. Them speak it, them eat it, them live it. You know what it is? And the perfect example for me that I keep pointing to, even though he's probably first Jamaican, is Robbie Lyle from AFTV. Every day, Robbie has put some Jamaican thing or talk some Jamaican words, or I say, you know, something that he says sometimes. He's a pure example of people born overseas, but they're Jamaican to the ground. Right? And sometimes some people in Jamaica don't understand that. But at the end of the day, I don't think you should use people. That's my contention with that. I have no problem if you are like Jonathan Rowe, for example. I know Jamaica would like Jonathan Rowe come play for him because he's a very good player. Youth player, play for England under-20 in the Euros when they won. I have no problem Jonathan Rowe say I'm not coming to play for Jamaica. Jonathan Rowe went through his own avenues to get his papers and get Jamaica naturalization. So if he decides, say, either I don't think I agree with the process he does, but say he's a Jamaican player for play for Marseille or wherever he is now, I think he left Marseille. That's his prerogative, right? He has the association, he has the lineage, he became naturalized. But if you come to the JFM, say you want to play and then it's a deceptive thing, I'm not doing that thing there. Yeah, I use people. Yeah, I know some people will disagree with me, but you know, I don't think anybody advocate more for naturalization or diaspora players than I do. But I'm not having being used in that context. As I said before, if you are a Max Aarons, if you are a Jonathan Rowe, if you are a Isaac Hayden, I don't think those players have used Jamaica in any shape or form. Max Aarons, by the way, is not in the process, but the Jamaican affiliation, they decide not to come, or they come when Hayden come because they're waiting for England. You grew up in England, you probably play youth football with all those kids, you aspire to play for them. Jamaica come in late, you say, well, I don't want to play for you now. But you're good enough to play for Jamaica, you may not be good enough to play for England. Yeah. Connor's a cranky hurting. Me not hurt, man. Me not hurt. But me not like nobody use me, star. Me not nobody use me. If you use me, I'll lash out at you. So I tell you all the people who are ball out there. Because there's a lot of kids who want to play for Jamaica. And here's the problem, people. Sometimes it's the JFF. But it's not all the time the JFF. Sometimes the JFF process, recruiting process, to me just no work. It's not a good process. It's not a very thoughtful process about recruiting. It's a reactive recruiting process versus a proactive recruiting process. Yeah, like Tyreek Mitchell. If Tyreek Mitchell don't want to come here and stay with him there, he might wait for England. He's playing really well, by the way. Really, really well. At one point, I heard he wanted to come, and then him start vacillate. People are like that, right? You have two girls you have to choose between. One you like more than the other. One you used to more than the other. And you try, well, I'm not say that about Jamaican man, because I don't just choose both of them. Anyway, you don't have the option. You can only choose one. Kind of hard to choose one. But it's easier if you live in England, born in England, grew up in the bad weather, used to the bad weather, sunshine too much for you. You understand that? But don't come use me. Don't come use me. Don't come use me. If you use me, I'll come burn you out. Now, let's talk about the team. So I picked my 26-man team. We revised it based on some new information that I've gotten. Not from any source, just information, doing my own research. And by the way, this weekend, I check most of the players, them, if they were playing. By the way, people, CFAs get game time. CFAs play 2 90-minute games. So, and Rudolph Speed was smart. And you talk too much on people, you won't get dry now. Rudolph Speed was very, very smart. Rudolph Speed, make sure you set some criteria for selection. So Rudolph Speed cover himself. So then Rudolph Speed pick him team in 26-man squad. And people, I have no insight into 26-man squad. None. There's a pick a squad based on pockets I think me here, there, and everywhere, and my view. When Rudolph Speed pick him squad, and the squad has been picked already, is my understanding, but has not been distributed or published. But it's been picked already. You have to be picked already anyway. You have to give a preliminary list to FIFA, and then we can revise the list. But CFAS played 2 90-minute games. So this weekend I check on all the players, them, who I'm familiar with. Andre Brooks play. Lati get a red card. Hey, I want a good red card. Lati get in a star. We love the red card there, I'm not telling a lie. It sounds terrible for me to say that, but we love Lati red card. We all need Lati. And hopefully Lati red card at 2 games. I know one. Get a red card like the youth from Crystal Palace. He pulled on a man, not it. I was watching the game and I had to leave, and somebody tell me, say, I think I was going someplace. I had something to do. And I was watching the game and then I had to run out. And he sent me the red card and I 40-something minutes. And by the way, since Lati was Coventry's player of the month, people. And since Lati coming inside, Coventry was falling like precipitously, So me get the out of Lati. Coventry had dropped like a brick from a 10-story building, and Lati go 19 team. And then what? 5-1, 5 win, 1 draw. 5 win, 1 draw. From Lati come in, things stabilize. Lati have a good stack. Lati come from Man City. Lati can captain England Under-20 or win what? But then win the World Championship or the Euro. One of them then win. With people like Morgan and his wife. So Lati have pedigree. Nothing will beat Lati. Lati have defender. I play centre half. Yeah, man, me a cheer when you get red card. I say, yes. And I think that injured in that training and he can't train too hard. Can have game to play? Yes. To see more replay last year? Okay. I didn't realize that. But Lati red card was a good red card, people. No, you can get hurt in that training, but I think it's less likely than game time. So hope Lati can rest over the next 2 weeks and then come play some football. Because Lati might start in defense. It's a straight red. Yeah. Hope he miss about 3 games. Hope he don't play until after if he miss 3 games, in the championship, play enough games sometime. Him can't play again until after World Cup round. So a good thing that. No. He not play midfield. I play centre half for Coventry. We talk about midfield. We don't put Lati on midfield, man. No, sir. We don't midfield with Lati. Lati are centre half. Centre half play centre half. They don't play midfield. Lati was a makeshift midfielder. We never have Hayden. Now we have Hayden. We don't need Lati in the midfield. But Lati is a quality centre half. Yeah, he's a good utility. Well, he's better than utility player. I'm a good centre half. And he's been playing really well in doing with a red card last weekend. He's been playing really well in there. Hopefully not losing place after this, because sometimes I think he got into the team because centre half, they were leaking results. Bad results. We're not on striker. Yeah. I think it's too early for Antonio. Even though Antonio said I play ball, I think it's too early for Antonio, but we'll see. So I picked a 26-man squad. Now, I'll get beaten for that squad, yeah. But I'm just run through it, people. It's not final. In my head, I do it. And I may get some insight. All right? I'll get some insight. So here's my 26-man squad. Wait there. You have it? That big enough? Miss me have another one. I want to big enough. Yeah, this is my 26-man squad. So this is my 3 goalkeepers. This is my defense. That's my midfield. Now, some of these players will not get picked. Because, some players may not in my team. Like, I have John Ross in my team, but and here's why I pick my team people. Yeah, I know Keenan Davis scored, but Keenan Davis is not going to be here. So let's not talk about, we're only going to talk about whoever possibly they've been here, who have their papers, and we're not talking about their papers. Right? Keenan Davis not on papers, Keenan Davis not come. In fact, he just came back from injury, but he scored, but he's not come. There's no Keenan Davis, people. We know Keenan Davis was at Villa. He have Jamaican heritage, but he not come. Bless up Germany. Keenan Davis will not be here. So we have a center forward problem. No team said Cranky, I'm madman enough. We center forward them there. Well, because we don't have them. We're going to make do. That's the team. No, I'm just throwing out numbers, people. This is not the team. It says Cranky's projected 26-man squad. This is Cranky's squad. This is not the team. And it's only based on certain information that I have. I'm still looking for some information for the forward line, but goalkeeper we not worry about. Defense. So here's the problem with the defense. We have no Rico Henry. Greg Lee's not playing any football. Lembakis not playing on football. That's as far as I know. So I have to put who I know are playing some football. I'm not sure about Mason will get either. I'm putting him on there because we're not on right back. Rudolph Speed saying him talk to, who him saying talk to? I remember. Bobby Reed in the squad, man. Midfield, no, I don't know if Robert is going to be in the team, people. This is my pick. Based on the 52-man squad we have and what I know. This is my pick. We have Bobby Reed, we have Casey Palmer, we have Andre Brooks. Andre Brooks is a good baller. If I was to pick a team, Andre Brooks have to start. He didn't have to start. Don't know what the other midfield. And to me, Robert have to start, but we don't know. And then up front, on the left, Mason Clark have to start. Playing well for Coventry. Same team like Joel Latti. On the right, I don't know, maybe you play Bailey in the 10 and play Gray right and Mason Clark left and our experiment. I think Rudolph's going to do some experimenting. My formation is always 4-3-3 now. When I'm playing off 3 at the back. 4-3-3. You'd have a Maribel left back. You may have Eaton and I think he might play Richard King in our defense, maybe with Latti. Or maybe Eaton with Latti. I put Latti at right back. And maybe have Eaton and Richard King who have played centre half before. Now, Maribel probably will play left back. Or Ronaldo website. Either one of them work. I haven't picked that 11 yet because it's very fluid. So what I've done is I've looked through the players who are getting game time. And all the players on here, I think, apart I couldn't find anything on Mason Greenwood. Are getting game time, right? All the players here are getting game time. Now, I came on here and said Rudolph Speed wasn't talking to players, but that was a while back. I'm sure he had to call the players now to talk to them about who's in the squad or who's not in the squad. If I was Rudolph Speed, I would keep a 30-something man squad lively. The 26 that I call and talk to the other one and tell them, say, look, I'm not picking for this reason, but if something happens, yeah, come in. Now, the reason why my team is here that I have is because all these players, is my understanding, are getting game time. Or most of them getting game time. And one of the criteria Rudolph has was you have to be getting game time. All right? All right. So Alex, dying for car. Call back, Alex. Call back. You're dying for car. I'll put up the number. Give me 1 second, people. Yes, Alex, good night.
Mr. Critical guy, what's going on?
Critical? You mean logical?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. I would have said that you grade hard, per se.
So explain what the grading hard is about. Explain that to me.
Yeah, grade extremely hard, Cranky.
So like, tell me what's grading hard.
U-17 come out there, yeah, say, yo, that style of play there, now you work when you go over against better team. You're right, But I think given
So
the
if I'm
moment
writing
that
that critical, it's fact.
all on a Cranky, we have to put context behind that because they need a draw to go through. So if they play that way, then they probably need a draw to go through.
No,
right?
they didn't. Yeah. But here's the problem. Here's what you're missing, though. When you kick the ball to the other team, there's no chance of getting that draw. I'm not saying you should play the ball around your box, but the second half they didn't make 3 passes. They didn't make 3 passes. 3. We don't have 4 enough. 3 passes.
But they get a chance and take them still.
Yes, they did. They did a good job of putting the team away. But I'm trying, and they defended really well. But in today's football, you have to keep the ball. You have to make 3 passes, man. Come on.
That's true.
Everybody just kick the ball to the opposition, and then you get a pressure.
Why the people might say about a squad that's a squad and not going to Cranky? What's wrong with that squad?
The squad ain't gonna be much different than this, is my view. I don't know what the squad is. I don't know what the squad is, but the squad won't be much better than this. How much different from this? Trust me.
Cranky. They might talk about them and say they expect new players to come in. You can't.
We have new players there. We have Efron Mason Clark, and we have
only know them 2 players.
Andre Brooks.
They want more than that Cranky 19.
But I thought they said they want local players now. Local players. You can't want local players. They want new players. We have new local players.
What have the Freckleton and getting paperwork yet?
Not based on my understanding, no.
So that means say some of them people that just love talk Cranky. They must say key now going away. You want to change out the lineup, bringing 5 new players in the lineup Cranky and no fluidity, nothing just so Cranky. Be honest.
Say it again, Alex. Say it again.
You want to bring in 5 or 6 new players in the team and no chemistry and no fluidity in the team when we play.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate. You think we had chemistry and fluidity before?
No, but may I say, Cranky, maybe somebody players are familiar with each other.
Yeah, but I think familiarity didn't help us. Maybe they should be more unfamiliar with each other. It didn't help us the last time around.
All right.
We had the easiest chance of it the World Cup, but we blew it. So right now, that means they weren't good enough.
All right then. So what I know. So why you want 67 new players in a starting lineup?
No, you won't have 6 or 7 new players because you don't even have that many coming in. You only have a few coming in. You don't even have the 5 people been talking about coming in. 5 not coming in.
Exactly. So then if they get expectation that we don't speed no for the Magic 3 team qualify.
I don't think Ruasby is a magician. I think he'll give the chip Speed his best chance. Look, Speed has done a good job of trying to recruit. Speed has said, this is publicly, that he has changed as it relates to the senior team and not even the senior team, just in terms of the football and how you recruit players. And he's always said that if you play Premier League, it's a no-brainer. That means somebody has decided that you're good enough and pay enough money for you to play, so you don't have to prove anything to anybody. But when he goes to other levels, he may challenge that. He has said that. He has said you play Premier League, like you're thinking about Eton or Rico, Henry, all them players. They must say, if you play Premier League, you play at the highest level, it's like you go for your job and you have a resume. Somebody go hire you because your resume is stellar. When you play the highest level, that means you're stellar in terms of your performance. So yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm not no problem with that. But we not get the players. But when we publish that we get 5-6 players, we not get 5-6 players.
But Cranky, they must have chat too much because people are coming to me a speed boy and me a speed boot because I have a different opinion from them Cranky.
So Alex, you gotta provide your perspective. If they don't like it, you can't help them. It's your perspective, right? And if you support Speed, that's your prerogative. Somebody called me the other day. I asked why somebody called me by my phone. People asked me why Mr. Anti-JFF. Me not say me anti-JFF. Me that talk true. So me ask them, what me say not true? Nothing. Me not say not true. Then if me say no, if I like that true, then me can't anti-JFF. Me tell the truth.
Them say me a lick of speed boot, but time me a speed boot liquor.
But if I get something out of it, then lick it.
No, I get no. Me don't know what's from Adam's Cranky. I know anybody from a kid.
I know. I'm just kidding, Alex. I know. But you have a certain view. People, your views don't align with their views, right?
Yeah. So
you're not the only one says that we shouldn't go out and get a ton of players. But my view is that those players fail. So when you hear people like Hayden complaining about bringing new people, I'm like, stop.
But question, Cranky.
Yeah.
If we can't get some of them players or some paperwork wrong and some people are wall out, will you say you would still be without Speed? Due to the one second, Alex. Broadman security. Rico Henry's injured. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so I say, like Rico
Has a hamstring problem. He not playing no football no time soon. Yeah.
The Rico injury, right, Cranky?
Yes,
bring the Webster, like the Webster.
That's right, Ronaldo Webster. Yeah, so I bring in Ronaldo Webster, yeah.
Yeah, so he's playing good in Conference League, right? The Conference League, and he's starting and getting game time. I remember in a Cranky, people have to put it in and look at it, you know. Maybe you can go up to 180 minutes play against their Congo in a Cranky.
What do you mean 180 minutes?
Meaning that if you don't score in the 90th minute, I'll go over extra time.
30 minutes extra time, and then you go penalties. So you're not going to 80, 120 plus kick the ball 9 net afterwards.
Okay, all right, fine. But what if you do go 30 extra minutes? You're going to need players with legs.
Yeah, no. You have to pick the best squad possible and have at least 2 people in each position to allow you. Because you're going to play New Caledonia. Look, between now and the 26th, you're probably going to have more injuries. That's just not. You're going to probably have more injuries. You're going to have more situations you have to deal with. But Rudolph protect himself by saying you got to be playing game time. You have to have game time. My understanding is that he's monitoring the players. He's monitoring their performance. He's not doing like the other coach was doing when he was on vacation. And right, my only contention with Rudolph is he's not traveling, which I heard Gattuso from Italy says traveling. I heard Hagums says traveling. And I'm saying them are bigger coach than you, and them they are Europe, and them are traveling. I'm going to meet them players. You have the 26-man squad now. I have to go watch them play. I go travel. I go talk to them. Jamaica is much farther than those countries are. But I think Rudolph should travel and go England and even have a meeting with nobody players in Canada.
That's true.
Yeah. Try build up vibes. As I said, Jamaica, build up vibes. Build up vibes, man. Build up vibes. Build up vibes.
But with the notion that a lot of players are not coming in, Cranky, would you be okay with a squad like this that you put up here?
I think we're missing a centre forward. I was hoping that Keenan Davis would come. Bowser to me now playing football, so you can't have my squad. If you're not playing football, you can't have my squad.
Exactly. But some of them players and your thing is playing football, Cranky.
All of them play football, except maybe Damian Lowe a little bit.
No, but Damian Lowe play.
Yeah, but he might play in our bush. But anyway, yeah, he might play. He might
play in Bush League. You consider it a Bush League.
He might Ravel and who get to play Bush League.
Yes, but they are playing.
Yes, they are playing.
They're playing.
We don't know Rudolph monitor them. Maybe he might be SP. I don't know Rudolph monitor them, but he might maybe West Coast have something for them.
Why? What you saying now? You know, consider Bailey Canamachi starting Bailey Canamachi up top.
Bailey Canamachi not get much game time. Bailey Canamachi him get $1 million transfer to a Wrexham and end up on the bench. I play a cup game, I play like he done Pinnock. I play a cup game.
So what about Jamal Lowe though? He playing
Jamal Lowe playing no football. Look, this weekend I checked. Leon Bailey play football. Tyrese Campbell started almost every game. Mason Clark started almost every game. Sifa started the last 2 games in playing in team.
And get man of the match too. Man of the match, don't forget that. You got man of the match.
Let's not get excited about Sifa's cars. You want me to show you Sifa stats?
Yeah. No, but you got the man of the match last game. I agree. We don't get excited. But you get the man of the match, you know, Cranky. You have to say, you have to point that out too. You have to point that out to get man of the match.
Hey, people.
Cranky,
you want to be people. Let me read this. No, me a goodness some stats. Me not get excited about nobody. This Sifa stats of the year, people. Tell me how much goal him score. How much assist him have. No, you tell me now, because you get excited about man of the match. Tell me how much goal him score and what's his name. I'm stats that. Me look it up. You can't see it, right?
Hold on. Look bad. Hold on.
And by the way, in those countries in Europe, the day come first. Not like in America, where a month come first. So how much this is Sifa stats. You see, say Ronaldo Sifa's people. Moscow in there. How much goal him score? How much assist him have? No assist? No goal? No? Maybe.
No assist.
Can you get excited? So you can get man of the match.
But you do get man of the match, so you get man of the match.
Am I sent off? Let me not just talk football now, Alex. Me back up by the facts.
Cranky, he not get much minutes then.
No, he wasn't before. But in playing 90, see the last 2 games, he have 90 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Before him on the bench, he might get 2 minutes. I guess he might have 90 game, come off the bench, look like. He have 26, 45, 11. He didn't get no playing time. I get playing time now. But the point I'm trying to make is when you start getting excited, I say, temper the excitement, man. Temper the excitement.
We not get excited, Cranky.
It's like you start, like you facts in the It's like you must deal with facts.
All right, Cranky. All right. But me, would start Liam Bailey still. You start Liam Bailey?
Yeah. Liam Bailey go start.
Really?
Yeah.
Really, Cranky?
In fact, you know what? I probably play Leon in the 10. I probably play Hayden in the 6.
Cranky.
Brooks in the 8.
Pull up a squad builder.
Eh?
Pull up a squad builder right now, Cranky.
No, we're not pulling a squad builder. We're not a squad builder tonight, people. Too far from that. We're not a squad builder tonight. We have pull up on the squad builder thing. No, but Leon, to me, this team got to be balanced. Mason Clark and Tyrese Campbell, to me, have to help up my right and left back.
That's true.
Because Demar Gray now help them. DBL now help them. You got when you play against those teams, when goals are going to be good too. Wait a minute, but the goals are going to be hard to come by against Congo. Because we know we drew up New Caledonia. That's how we stay. Yeah. My left and right winger, I feel support my 2 left and right back, especially my right back suspect. I don't want to carry nobody out there. So if me play Bailey, I play like second forward or whatever we do, because him now come back, come help the win. Him now do better nowadays. I feel like, but I know why him though. But Bailey now start, you can start Gray and Mason Clark. Gray and you can play. I don't know you do.
No, maybe I start Efren, Mason Clark.
Mason Clark can start. Mason Clark, but Mason Clark can play center forward and Campbell can play center forward too.
But Campbell get this defensive mindset in come back in that game. 2 of them get that Cranky. You gonna need that in the Congo game, Cranky. You gonna need them to go up and down the field, Cranky. I help with the different drop back in tuck in, I help the midfield, Cranky. You want that in the game, do you understand me? I think them 2 players there do the perfect.
Somebody saying Whispers play more minutes. Whisper play minutes for Leicester. Whisper on the bench. Kadamar play a cup game. Whisper not play no person. Whisper not in our squad. Yeah. There's no way Whisper in our squad. I can't see Whisper in our squad. Yeah. I like Whispers a player by the way, but Whisper in our squad. Yeah. Can't see that happening.
But would you not play Tyrese Hall in number 10 then, Cranky, if you have a problem with that?
No, look, they're different. I think Andre Brooks can play the 10. Look, if me have a team, if Ravel fit, me I play Ravel in the 8 or the 10. No, if I put Brooks in the 8, because less work, I put Ravel in the 10 and put Hayden in the 6. That's what I do. Right? But Ravel may not be in the squad. I don't know if Ravel is in the squad. That's just my squad. I don't know if Ravel is in the squad. I was watching some tape on Ravel. I was watching another tape. You watch so much history on Ravel, people. And one of the guys was from Manu was saying there are 3 players that come through Manu with exceptional ability. He mentioned Greenwood, he mentioned Rashford, and he mentioned Ravel because he's been a coach at Manu for a lot. And he was saying Ravel is the one who underachieved. And he was saying, no, the person was saying they're the most difficult players to manage. I didn't just want to play football. And I thought all 3 are Jamaican heritage. Now, what are they difficult? Difficult to manage. And 2 of them could have played for Jamaica, Greenwood and Ravel. Ravel has played.
But if you Ravel now come, you could have play Tyrese Hall and Hayden in the midfield and Brooks at number 10, or you could have switched it to Brooks play number 10 or Tyrese Hall.
I think Tyrese, they may think Tyrese a little bit young and a little bit green. His scoring has dropped off and his goals and assists have dropped off over the last. I think he has 5 goals, 3 assists for the season. He was hitting the ball, running early next season. Since the turn of the year, for some players, it's been changing. Yeah, I agree. Kadamardi has not been playing any football, actually. He play a cup game, he's not playing a portion of football. He move cover Wrexham, them team play well.
It's country, I feel reliant to make somebody.
Yeah, man. Bless Alex. But I don't see a centre forward there. My choice would be between Boza and Kadamardi. And to me, Kadamardi, look, that's the 26 I have. People can have their own 26. People can have their own 26. That's my 26. For the time being, it's a moving 26 people. It's a moving 26 people. Let me change it. It's a moving 26. Can change at any time. My ifs on this. So if I look at this 26, Jaden Hibbert, I've asked besides certain players. Jason Hibbert is 1. Ethan Pinnock is 1. Mason Holgate is 1. Who else? Ravel is 1. John Russell is 1. Tyrese Hall is 1. Bailey Kadamati is 1. Normal Campbell is 1. All the other ones I'm want to call the word sure of, but more likely, I think, will be in there. But I do have some asterisk between Hibbert and I think Pinnock will get kind of experience in the Premier League. You know, not get much game time. It's a cup games for Brentford. But he's training with Premier League players every day. And when he plays for Brentford, he doesn't look bad in the cup games. Holgate, we now know right back people. You can call Tavan Gray if you want to know, but I don't know, Tavan Gray is playing much better nowadays, but that's open. There's going to be some subjective areas. Ravella play Bush League, but to me, Ravella just class. And if Ravella can run and shoot, go at the same time in the nice squad. Bobby Reed will come. Casey Palmer probably will come. Andre Brooks, definitely. I don't know about John Russell, whether I want him to come or not. But me there because I couldn't find people. Can't find no midfielders. Yeah, Jamal low ball playing. Yeah. I played no football. There's no Dixon, as far as I would think. No Dixon, no Whisper, no Nicholson. And by the way, you know what's funny about that? Tell me what's funny about that, people. No Dixon, no Whisper, no Bowser. That's very funny, actually. Tell me what's funny about that whole thing. Now, Ian Frey is there. Lee Young. Look on the defense, not midfield. He's the last name on the defense. You know what's funny about that whole thing with those three players? Those three players played the final game against Curacao in the National Stadium. If you remember, Nicholson, Dixon, and Whisperer on the field. And none of them, to me, will be in this squad, as far as I would think. Which is very interesting, actually. Well, it's all local players, but not all local players. They all were playing at the final whistle in the last game when we didn't qualify. Now, they weren't all starters. Nicholson started. Whisper and Dixon. Dixon came on pretty early for Gray, early second half, and Whisper came on later. And Whisper had that penalty that almost was. I had Lambert at one point, but when I look at the midfield, who's Lambert going to play over? He's going to play over John Russell, possibly. And John Russell had a red card, didn't he? So John Russell, is his red card 1 or 2 games? Don't know. So John Russell may not be. I got to revise the squad, but John Russell may not be there. Because he had a red card. Nicholson had a red card. John Russell had a red card. So they both would have missed the Caledonia game. I don't know if the red card was 1 or 2 games. Yeah, he's at Blackpool because he got pushed down from Championship to League One. Yeah, is he playing well? It's possible. I mean, the one player in my midfield I don't like there is John Russell, actually. I don't like John Russell there. I would not have John Russell in my team, but that's just me. He scored goals, but when he plays for Jamaica, I don't do anything else. But he's getting game time now. He's getting game time wherever he is. He moved to what? Mansfield? Right? He wasn't getting game time where he was. He's getting game time now. Check his stats today. He's getting game time. So most of these players, based on Rudolph's criteria for selection, they're getting game time. Most of these players getting game time. Amari Bell is starting for Charlton. Webster Anderson is getting game time. Pinnock is not getting game time, but as I say, it's a Premier League club. I get my play cup games. Latti get a red card Saturday, but playing a lot of game time. King getting game time. I guess Damon are playing Siberia. I get game time. I don't know about Holgate. I just have him there as a right back, and Ian Frey obviously is at Inter Miami. Hayden getting game time. Ravella play Bush League, so he must get game time. Bobby Reed, I get game time. He started on Saturday. Casey Palmer get game time. Andre Brooks getting game time. He starts almost every game for Sheffield. John Ross now getting game time. Tyrese Hall getting game time. Tyrese Hall game time has dropped, though. I know this. He played the other day, but he used to be 90 minutes every game, and his production dipped, and his game time has dipped. Leon started to get game time since he come back from Roma. Tyrese Campbell started almost every week. Ephraim Clark started almost every week. Billy Catamarana get on game time, but I need a center forward. Ronaldo Sifa start getting game time. He wasn't getting any game time. He saw his stats. There are no stats. I've never seen a stats like that for a forward, but he wasn't getting game time. Jamalo getting a lot of game time. DeMargo getting game time. He played on Saturday too. And Naman Campbell playing J League getting game time. Those are the players. Ava Sport still play football. Man say Pinnock has been poor for Jamaica for about a year now. Yeah, initially I don't have Pinnock in my team, but I'm looking at the defense and I need some experience. My concern about Pinnock is he can't turn no more. He coming like a Goku race for Arsenal. He can't turn. He turn and drop down. So I don't know. Russell losing pause and entry. entry head. Brain says, hey, Brain, Drain, how you doing, Brain? Brain says, Ravel resuscitated. Yeah, Cranky, I try resuscitate him. But Ravel, yeah, Ravel a big baller, man. I look on some tape, brother. Somebody sent me a tape of Ravel last week. I mean, I look at the tape and I say, I don't think when Ravel is playing for Jamaica, people say Ravel touches, you know. You know what I do? If me can play it and YouTube don't block me, I'll play the thing where people say me the other day. Then show some touch from Ravel. Them touching are normal people. I tell the people, they're not normal. You have to have a level of ball knowledge and intellect. Ravel may not come across that way in everyday life, but on the football field, I want genius, I tell you. Genius footballer. Different. And he may not come across with Jamaica because it's not in his more youthful days, but even for Jamaica, sometimes he makes some touches where he might think 2 steps ahead. Sometimes he don't look good because the man mess up the thing. I think we have blacklisted Tavan Gray. No, I've thought about Tavan Gray now. I had a discussion with somebody with him the other day. Tavan Gray's on my other list. Ravel scored back-to-back. Ravel free night squad, man. Ravel free night squad. Ravel, everybody talk about Ravel. Every time you see somebody man you talk about Ravel, there's disappointment in their voice. Ravel is next level footballer, people. Next level head case, but next level footballer. Yeah, people when I follow Ravel. What really is Ravel? When I follow Ravel, you know? Ravel. We just watch some old tape of Ravel all the time. We don't play ball now, but a different level, people. Different level. Somebody sent me something. I was gonna play it, but sometimes YouTube block them thing there. So me run it through YouTube first and see if it lasts for a couple of days and see if it get blocked. If not, I'll play it. You could do a combination thing for Ravel and just put out a video. Different level. The touches. Not normal people. Not normal. Devin said Ravel's a maestro. Yeah, Ravel's a maestro. Rob Smith said when East, I guess he meant East, not Easy, is playing Champions League next year, they'll be calling for him. Well, if you're playing in Israel, you can play Champions League, you have to play for the best team, you know. Not because you may be a great player, but depends on where you play. Cranky, you have 4 left wingers. You do know at least one needs to be dropped, right? Maybe Jamal. Jamal is not a left winger. People. We just say something to him. Because someone is young. You know, in a football, historically, right footers play right wing, you know, and left footers play left wing, you know. I repeat that, people. I don't see you to understand this. Because we have the new concept where you want the left winger to play on the right and then cut in and shoot with the left foot. Then our left foot will cut in from the right. No. People, there's an argument against that, you know, which is you have to cut back to cross the ball, because people with the right foot can't cross the ball well. Right? You used to be people on the right, play right wing with right foot. Your left foot can't play, your right foot can't play on the right wing, you know. You know, ban. Trust me. We never understand that people say you can't, people just stick to the one-dimensional thing. Where me see Martin play right wing for Arsenal. Me see Semenyo play both right and left wing for Man City. Right foot can't play right wing, man. Trust me. Especially if them have 2 foot. Because some people are 1 footer. Most of the left footer them only can use them left foot. Like a Messi or a Saka. But you can, yeah, man. This concept that me have 4 left winger and then can't play a right winger, nonsense that. Me not buy them thing there. Right footer can't play any wing. At the last 30 years, we are less than 30 years, people start play right foot upon left wing and vice versa. No, sir. Yours truly may be a little bit dated, but we believe people with right foot can play right wing. In fact, it makes sense. Because you dribble on the outside of your right foot versus the inside of your left foot. So the right back, you know, him strong side and right side, you know. So if you dribble with your left foot, you dribble on him strong side. When right foot is dribble on the outside, the dribble to the weak side of the left back. But anyway, at the right back, whatever it is. And the way it is today, people, it's fine, it works, but you actually can do it work the other way. Yes, I'm saying if you're 2-footed, you can play anyway. No, most players nowadays are not. So it's to me, it's if you have professional footballer, and they say Messi, You should be able to use both feet. You can't be one-footed. That's my philosophy. I know some people hate Robert, to me, like Ronaldinho. I don't want to have 50 mistakes up here, so as baller. So long as him can run, he's all right. I'm not buying this notion that Ravel, when Ravel stop play any professional football, so him stop play, then me stop talk about him. For right now, not talk about him. So Devon Porter said, this is the reason why Jamaica don't cross ball, because everyone now wants to cut in and shoot. That's madness. Football became robotic. Yeah, I think normally you have the right foot that cross from right to left, then right foot. Mr. Saka try cross ball with the right foot, I mean, I have to laugh. Has no direction in. Just hope he gets to his destination. Right? When they go on the byline and then get pushed to the sideline, and if he cross it back, when they go to the touchline, if he cross it back, then struggle. You have to cut it back on the left foot. You don't have to cut back. You have to just cross it. And you send it forward and you see them and you're attacking midfield chance, or the next winger get a chance to get to the ball. But anyway, people have been here for 2 hours almost. It's time to vamos. It's been a good discussion. As it relates to the Jamaica football, and recap what we talked about. We talked about the administration. We talked about coaching. Talked about the output from that, which is under-17 going to the World Cup. Congrats to the under-17 again. Under-20 in the final round of the CONCACAF tournament, which is going to be interesting to see how they do. Last time, it was a very difficult road for them. Hopefully, Rudolph Austin will supplement the team with some additions. And I'm aware of certain players who qualify to play for Jamaica, have them papers, better than what we have right now. I hope them bring them in. The women's team, they will be in the final round at some point. And my hope is that them up them game, because they can't miss them goal against the Canada and the US, and well, now about Canada and US. They might go through Mexico, Costa Rica, Haiti. It's going to be a difficult, Panama, a difficult game. So then if you up them game. Lewis Baker will not be in the squad. Lewis Baker has been injured for most of this year, actually. And Lewis Baker will probably don't come back until don't know when. So Lewis Baker won't be in the squad. Him not fit to. So in terms of fitness, no Lewis Baker, no Rico Henry. You know, I heard that Lewis Baker papers were here. So Lewis Baker is one for the future, not for the present. No, it's my understanding that Jamaica had called Jonathan Rowe before, and he wants to play for England, turn him down. So, but I'm not beating Jonathan Rowe, because Jonathan Rowe has his papers for a while now. I think even when he was playing for the Euros for the under-20, he had his papers. But Jonathan Rowe, maybe waiting for England or not is interested, and he got his papers on his own. So I'm not against Jonathan Rowe. Good luck to him. We'd love to have him, but good luck to him. You have to learn on from past ballers. No, but Robert is not a past baller. Robert is a current baller. We have to have a past baller. Be nice. Be nice, be nice, be nice. Yeah, he's not coming. Mason Greenwood was at Marseille. Mason Greenwood not coming. It's my understanding. I don't have any information on Mason Greenwood, but we'd love to. Look, Jamaica would love to have Mason Greenwood. I will curtail my perspective on that. Jamaica would love to have Mason Greenwood. Rudolph Speed say if Mason come at the last minute, even take him. And Mason's a quality footballer. Mason can get into almost. I think Mason Greenwood can get into any team in the world currently. Any team in the world. I don't see any team that Mason Greenwood can't get into. Maybe France would be difficult, but even France he probably could get into. Seriously. He can get to England side easily, because Saka now do nothing, Madueke now do nothing, Gordon now do nothing, frankly. To me, them now really produce. So him walk into this England team easily. He'd walk into the Spain team. Spain be difficult between Williams and Yamal. He may not get into that team. He probably get into that centre forward, because centre forward not that good. So there's almost no team that Mason can get into currently in world football. But it's my understanding. I don't have any insight on Mason's situation, but if you know I come already, I haven't heard anything to say he's gonna come this time. If Mason come, it'll be a surprise, yeah. In fact, it'd be a great surprise if Mason come. And so my links have broken, people. You know, you have links and the links them broke. So talk off my links them. Instead, no, I engage with them more. Links them say, boy, I get too much trouble. Well, I think to get Mace, here's my view on this. So here's what I would do. If I was, you know what? If I was JFF, I would do a sneaky thing, but I'm not going to talk about it. I do a sneaky thing. If I was JFF, I do a sneaky thing. If Mason, I think people don't like it tough, but I do a sneaky thing. If Mason create this buzz and then him kill the buzz. So, I don't pity for Mason. Which you that board man you're talking about, Roxroy? People are talking about what's his name? Tavernier. Tavernier is not Jamaican, people. If you're talking about Tavernier, is not Jamaican. His background, people keep saying Tavernier is Jamaican. He's not Jamaican. Even the internet says Tavernier is Jamaican. He's not Jamaican. I did some homework. He's not Jamaican. So don't talk about Tavernier. I think there was somebody who wanted Tavernier. Who wanted Tavernier? One of them big team wanted him. Is it Manny or one of them thing there? But Tavernier is not Jamaican. No, Macy's not better than Lama. He's a better goal scorer than Lamine, but he's not better than Lamine. He's a better goal scorer, but Lamine's game is almost complete. The problem is defensive. And Mason don't play defense either, so they're both in the same boat. They're both, if you want to call in the people, we have a few more minutes left. If you want to call in for one last call. Yeah. Lamine, Yamal is a special player. See him score this weekend. He don't know how to play that well. Mason have ambition. What do you mean have ambition? So Jamaica is not an ambitious place? Or if you play for Jamaica, have ambition? Yes, sir. Good night.
Yeah. We go to the United fandom all across the globe. Don't make them get to them with the last recently, because I just some bad mind thing are going, you know?
In terms of what?
No, false schools them iron up their mouth and them thing there.
No, say it again.
No, I say, I tell the United fans them don't make people get us down because of the loss recently. Isn't it? I just one of those things. Can't win all the game them.
Okay.
Yeah. But with the squad where you select, right, Cranky?
Yeah.
I think I believe that you did watch Congo and the AFCON, right?
Yeah.
So you'd have made your own assessment about them. I was saying recently, Congo is not one of those teams where like I fear much. Like I would fear Jamaica playing like the USA or like Canada or Panama to qualify for the World Cup more than Congo, just based on style of play and the attacking threat that they carry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, I think Wissa will help them, right? He's not playing great for Newcastle, but I think he'll help them quite a bit.
Well, yeah, but I would say that the US attack is better than Congo, our team, to be honest.
I don't know if they're better. I think Congo is underrated because of how they play. But when you get by Nigeria, to me, who has a lot of name players, I wouldn't say great team, but name players, you must be doing something right. You get by Cameroon with the Mboimos of the world. You get by Nigeria. People underrate Congo because, and Nigeria probably should have beat them, to be honest. They're such a defensively, the attribute that we have in terms of our physicality, athleticism, they're better than us at that. Right?
Yeah.
And they have players playing at the top leagues in the world. The one beside us of the world may not be great players, but they are very good players. They're hard to break down. That's the problem.
Yeah,
they're hard to break down.
I would personally fear a more like team that's like attacking in a sense. You get me? I say, and that have talent in that area. And when you have like the Pulisic and the Timothy Weah and like, all those guys, and maybe it's because that I'm familiar with the USA and the Panama and the Mexico, them is a reason as to why I fear them more. But we say like with the team that you select and your assessment of Congo, what's the probability that you would then give Jamaica to like beat a Congo on the day of winning? And how do you think we should approach that game with a team like yours? Like, what's the best approach for us?
I think you have to play mid-block football, and I think you have to try to get them on the counter. I think they're very hard to break down. So it's almost like you're sucking them in and then you're punching them. I think what we do have, like they do, if Tyrese Campbell and Mason Clark is on the field, we have people going to help our left and right back, right? Which are going to need help, especially our right back, which I'm very uncomfortable with. I think Amari Bell will hold his own. I was hoping we'd have Rico Henry, then he wouldn't need as much help. I think Andre Brooks is a very good player and will start. Look, Aiden has lost a step, but he's serviceable. I'm also concerned where we're going to play Lati. Are we playing Lati right back? Or are we playing Lati center half? And who's he going to partner if we're playing center half? Is it Low? Is it King? Is it Pinnock? To me, Pinnock is just too slow for that. Congo too physical and quick for Pinnock. I like Pinnock's ability to read the game and play out from the back. I don't like his lack of athleticism. It's just not there.
So you go with King?
Yeah, probably. I'll go with Lati and somebody else. I haven't decided yet.
Because I mean that's the most. Well, we're not gonna say the most informed centre back that we have, but
Lati's the most informed centre back we have.
Yeah, but Lati's the most informed, and
but King play regularly. King play regularly.
Yeah, King is playing some of the most football.
If we had Freckleton come in, I would have put Freckleton there as a left footer.
Yeah, so
but we didn't get
I mean, it is what it is in terms of the team still.
Yeah.
As me say, you know, when I watched Congo in the AFCON, I wouldn't say that I was like overly impressed because the style of play that they use is not something that you're overly impressed by. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they have the skilled players that you're used to, right? That what they have is physicality, toughness. They have athleticism. They can play. Don't get me wrong. They can play and move the ball around. But when you watch them play Nigeria dominated ball possession. They're very stout defensively.
They're very dangerous on the counter. That's what they have shown.
And they have counter. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You play mid-block versus just going all out because you're going to leave yourself exposed.
Yeah, against Nigeria, they were very dangerous on the counter, you know. But in terms of the game, obviously, it's just getting it right on the day. You know what I'm saying? And
let's beat New Caledonia first. I'm not like talk about the other game until we finish the first.
Well, that's true. But although Jamaica disappointed me before, I always say Jamaica, because we want some videos on New Caledonia a couple weeks ago, and me just can't see Jamaica lose to them. I mean, it's just impossible at this point.
Yeah,
it will be impossible. But so we get past them, I'll play Congo. It's just about getting it right on the day in terms of the team selection and everything else, you know. And I think, well, both teams obviously know what is at stake, you know. So Congo will be using it as motivation, and hopefully the Jamaican guys can also use it as motivation to realize that this is the last attempt to qualify for the World Cup, you know.
Well, let's see what happened in the FIFA situation with Nigeria, because I think we'd have.
No, man, that's not going to work. Cranky.
No, I mean, what if they're Nigeria think they have a very good.
But think about all the logistics right now, and today's day.
I know.
Yeah. And then tomorrow's the 9th is like one bag of Haga.
Yeah, but they still have problem with Iran, right? Iran situation is a problem.
Well, yeah.
So it's just a compounding problem, but it's a problem. I mean, think about if you take out Iran, what happens? You gotta replace them with a team. They're gonna figure something out amongst these playoff teams, right? What do you do? Do you replace Iran with, say, who? That's the question.
The rumor.
Do you replace them with Iraq?
The rumor is that them take out Iran and put Jamaica and then leave the others.
No, stop. Well, Jamaica people them come with them rumor and fit them narrative. It makes sense to put Iraq in there, but then the question is, put Iraq in there, does Suriname play Bolivia and win a World Cup? How does that work? So FIFA has some problems that they're struggling with. They're struggling with the Nigeria thing. They were supposed to give a ruling on this a while ago. You know? They haven't come up with a ruling yet. You know? That means something is amiss.
Well, I don't think FIFA did foresee this coming, to be honest, man. Never in 1,000 years.
Yeah, but how could Congo? If it's legit, it does make sense because you have to change allegiance, right? You put your paperwork in, change allegiance, you get confirmation, then you play the players. So I don't know how that works.
Yeah, but there's some benefits still.
Yeah, man, bless.
Yeah.
Hey, Unseen, you know, I beat you, Unseen. I have no Unseen. Most people can tell Unseen. I have nothing against the player, you know. I call it like I see it. You may not like it, but I call it like I see it. Let me see if I can find. I got a call in a while ago. I call a person. Yeah, Unseen, you may not like it, but I can't help you with that, Unseen. If you're a King supporter and hey, coach, call me back. I can't find the number, coach. I don't know I'm going to say. I just saw it come through. Why isn't it showing up now? That is not. It means it. Call me back now, Minzy. If you're watching, I just saw the number come through and it's not show up now. I saw Keishan show up. That is not good. Minzy, call me back. Somebody asked me why the national coach coaching JPL. I'm coaching team. I want him team to make some money. My guy can't start coaching team. In my practice for the big game, I come up. Minzy, call back now, Minzy. Hey, Minzy, if you have the call, call him back. I try to find Minzy number, I can't find the people. And he just called me a while ago. Let me see if I can find the number. I cannot find the number. So I'm gonna see Keisha's number. I can't find it. I just, you know what? Let me just do this. I just sent him back a message. So why isn't the message showing up? Oh, here it is. Good night, sir. Good night. Can you hear me?
Oh, go on.
Yeah. Where I say?
I'm there, I know, but for a man who called me out the last time I call and my number now come up.
No, I understand. Me reply to you. Me reply to you, so it not come up. You know, you're for the main phone, not the business phone. So you're for the main phone, you're for the business phone. So the business phone is.
Yeah, man. Anyways, I big up the people in the chat. Me and Kishana talk one presser. He makes some solid points.
Yeah.
My question is there hope for Team Jamaica?
So I used to give the Team Jamaica about a 3% chance. I've improved it to between 7 and 10. The reason why, because I'm a big fan of Andre Brooks. I'm a big fan of Mason Clark. I watch them play for a while now. Mason Clark play for Coventry, Andre Brooks play for Sheffield. They're good players, and they can help supplement the team. They're both starters. I thought we'd get a few more players, but that hasn't occurred. But it's tough, right? We have the one thing that Rudolph has done, and Rudolph Speed has done more recently, is a requirement for you to be having game time.
Yeah.
Right? Because we have a lot of players who weren't playing any football. You should me show FIFA stats. He wasn't playing. He didn't come and score for Jamaica against the SAP team. When he played bigger team, them have different competition. At least now he might get some 90 minutes and play 2 90-minute games. So now, if you're required to have game time, most people have game time now, except for maybe Ethan Pinnock, even in the Premier League team. Most of them have game time. They play, but Bobby Reed play a game. Ravel not play a Bush League. Hayden not play a game. Even Bailey getting game time at Villa now. One more game time. Tyrese Campbell started almost every week. Mason Clark started every week. Only person I'm getting in the game time is Bailey Cadamarty. And I had to have a centre forward. And I look at Pittman. Yeah. So, yeah.
But Tyrese Campbell has been playing before we reach a stage here where
but with a different coach.
Yeah.
This coach rate him.
Yeah. So he has been playing before that other coach, you know. So I don't think game time would have been his problem. It's just to get in the team and put him on the field, because I think he's a good player. My thing too is that I watch New Caledonia play a game, and boy, I mean, I tell you, they're atrocious. But what I'm hearing is that they are trying to bolster their team as well.
Everybody doing that, Mincy. Everybody I recruit like crazy.
Yeah.
Even the team who qualify, I recruit like crazy.
Exactly.
Everybody I recruit, Mincy. It's just that's the norm nowadays. Everybody I look for somebody who have quality and can come in.
Exactly, because they will add some sort of impetus to your team and setup. So I think that is the way to go. I guess that's the way world football is going.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, for me, I don't know where to put our chances, Cranky. Honestly, I don't know where to put our chances, because it is just so. I mean, some of these players are going to be playing for the first time. How are they going to, gel? I know that Speed want to get them in early so him can, but will these clubs release them early? They're
not. There's no early to get in. They're gonna play games up until like the 22nd. By the time they fly in, they have to have recovery, as you know. They have to check them stats and where they are to determine how much practice them can do. They probably have two practice sessions, them lucky. So that's what I was saying. They probably should be meeting way before now, Minzy. I've been saying it to Minzy. Should be meeting a month ago. By Zoom, having conversation, know who the opposition are, know what players may be in the team, send them information on those players, let them study it, let them study tape on them own time. Have conversation with them. They not do none of this. They might do reaction type management.
Yeah. So that's why I can't have no decision on it. It's good to know that Speed get some players in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is it too little, too late? But at the same time, too, you see, there are so many things to think about, because it can be a case where Speed just happen to just have a good day, good 2 games, and that would be refreshing, So
What you want is this: is that you want to not to have exert too much against New Caledonia. You want to have your full complement of play against Congo. You want Speed and his coaching staff to have already scouted Congo really well, figure out where their weaknesses are, and then you hope the players play above their ability or in line with their ability, game time, and the ball is round. Grimsby Town knock out Man U out of FA Cup.
Yo, number.
I'm just giving you an example, right? I'm giving you know, Arsenal almost get knocked out by Mansfield Town this weekend. We just struggled with Mansfield Town.
Yeah, man, you should have used that first before you come to it.
But we didn't get knocked out. So we have to say we get knocked out, so we can win. But this is a better team than Grimsby or Mansfield Town playing against Congo. So the players have to go. Look, we beat Canada, right? Which is a better team than Jamaica in our nation. We beat Canada. Me and you watch Jamaica play US. We go and Jamaica shall win the game apart from our buck up goal the last minute. You know they were a better team than us. Right? US is a better team. We could have win the game. If Burt never scored the own goal, we would win the game.
Mm-hmm.
So anything is possible in football. And you have to be organized. I mean, the biggest example I see of that is Inter against Barcelona when Jose Mourinho parked the bus and Barcelona, them big team, and still can't beat them. Because you organize defensively. I was hearing Rene Goulet talking the other day about when he was at Milan and they would play like 7 against 4, 11 against 6 because Milan had this great defense and then couldn't score because you organize the team. So you do walkthrough about organization, even though you don't have enough time with them to do that. But you make sure you organize defensively, you not every gap covered, and you hit them on the break. You have some Mason Clark and them have some speed, you hit them on the break, and you hope you score a goal and then lock it down. But I don't think we can go toe-to-toe with them. I don't think that would work. I don't think toe-to-toe would actually work. They're a very physical team.
That's Congo, right?
Yeah. They're Congo.
Yeah.
If Congo come through, because given this thing with FIFA, we'll see what happens. We see what happens with them and Nigeria. Because Nigeria, I think they have a very strong case.
Okay.
Saying they use 6 illegal players. I would prefer to play Congo than Nigeria, to be honest. I think Nigeria is a different animal. I'm gonna be a motivated animal.
Yeah, Nigeria is a better team.
Yeah.
Their skill and what I call it now. They're athletic. They're skiller than Congo, I believe.
Yeah, man.
And them can turn a game in a jiffy. So
yeah. I mean, think about it. Them have Osimhen, them have Iwobi, them have Lookman, them have enough players. Them have all them players playing at top league of the world. I mean, it's surprising they don't make the World Cup, seriously. But then it tells you something else too, which is an organized team can probably beat a team with quality because international football, pick up football. Nobody wants to say pick up football. You come in for a couple of days, they try a blend. Some people play together through youth programs, but you don't really have that nowadays with all the movement of people like you used to have it. So if you come in and you organize them and everybody know them role, and you can execute. The biggest thing for Jamaica now, between now and the 26th, is we hope we don't have any more injuries. Like Lati get a red card, me not vex with Lati. Lati now for the next 2-3 games, me not vex with Lati because he won't probably train as hard. And last time Lati come to Jamaica and get injured, well, he was injured already and get further injury. So he wasn't playing any football until the last 8 weeks, frankly. And I'm not playing top of him game. So we hope him come and play some ball because we were talking about Lati when we went to watch US play Jamaica and how Lati was stirred in the defense. Nothing can pass. I think they were playing 3 at the back at the time. They were playing 3 at the back and Lati was in, playing 3 at the back. And Lati was marshalling things. So hopefully, I don't know if Luda will go 3 at the back. I doubt it. But he could too. Between Lati on the right, Damon probably play in the middle. Or play, not do it. You play Pinnock left. I don't think Pinnock can't play on the outside anymore. He's a player for Brentford. I don't think Pinnock's fast enough to play that outside or left back. And probably put King or somebody in the middle. He might go figure out in formation. I don't know what he will do, but it'll be interesting to see what he does actually.
Yeah.
Somebody will say 4-4-2. I don't know about a 4-4-2. 4-4-2 is an interesting formation. People don't really play 4-4-2 that much anymore. And play more 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. But no, it should be interesting, Lindsay. It should be interesting.
Yeah. I could see it go now.
Yeah, man.
That we have to do, man. I hope and I pray and I ponder, say, things might turn. But
at least we get some views.
Of course. All right, big up yourself.
Yeah, man. Best. Thanks for the call, sir. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, man, cool.
Yeah, the fun of bad market is, so in Jamaica I play, the fun in the environment, I watch the football and fingers crossed. But tell you what, people, let's focus on be optimistic. Rudolph think he's up for the challenge. I mean, no. Say if Rudolph make World Cup, me probably have to give up YouTube. I'm not here then. I mean, no. Say if Rudolph make World Cup, we can't talk to Rudolph no more. Cannot talk to Rudolph. Can't talk to Rudolph, I tell the people. Because, Rudolph has a huge ego already. They making World Cup where all them big coach to fear. What's a big coach? McLaren fear. We just solidify the ego and the accomplishment and the flowers them not stop coming. So, but regardless of that, we want him to make World Cup. So we're not going to fight him. We're not going to fight him. We want him to make World Cup. So whether him head get bigger or not, if he's not big already, and whatever happen, we hope he puts the best team on the field. It's my understanding he's recruiting really hard, didn't get all the people he wanted. And also, he might pick based on what he viewed to be ability and performance, not on where you were born, which is all we ask for, is fairness and egalitarian system, not necessarily equality, but you want people to be fair and pick the team, get the best chance to win. Doesn't mean you pick the best players. Pick the team that get the best chance to win. Parochialism go out the door. Favoritism go out the door. It's all about, can I get the team that will allow me to compete and get a positive outcome? So, people, I appreciate each of you being here. It's been a good discussion. I am getting more optimistic. I'm not going to say we'll win because I'm a realist. But at least I am encouraged by the recruiting process. I'm not encouraged by the total of the process. You hear me complain about certain things. I'm encouraged by the attempted recruiting. So I would say about that. So when I ask about Tavan Gray, I don't know about Tavan Gray, actually. Tavan Gray may be considered because right back is a problem for Jamaica. It's been that problem since Alvas Powell not in the team for years. Even Alvas was in, at some point, was a problem. Right back has been a big... Jamaica need to go out and recruit some right back people. Right back is not really a problem in world football, not for Liverpool, no. But it's a problem for Dominica. We need to go out and start looking to the right back position. And maybe some kids from the under-20 can matriculate to the senior team. The kid from Holland, I forgot his name, that I watched play the other day, looked decent. And if he played for Jamaica Under-20, he can matriculate to the senior team at some point. He looked like a good player. He's the one that had the cross for the other day. He has some good crosses on the right side. Still a little bit raw. And here's getting to the first team, but he's a good player. So anyway, I appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a wonderful night. And I hope each of you, those of you who are religious, and can pray for the national team, so they make the World Cup. I know me stay with them thing there already. I believe say you make your own luck, but not create luck for you. But at the same time, I think we should all focus on pulling for the team now. We can get with divisiveness later, and we want to later be negative. But from now on to the end of the qualifiers, look, Tim, here's my view on this. Even if we don't qualify for the World Cup, if the performance, because sometimes you play well enough and you don't win enough. If the performance is such where we can be proud of it, I'll be very disappointed. But I think I would still be very supportive. But if the performance awful and the outcome awful, if the performance awful and we win, we're still happy. If the performance is great and we don't win, we're not happy, but we're not going to be negative. But if a poor performance, poor management, and poor outcome, then so the sword them all come out. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, people, thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a great week. This week is coming up. By the way, people, tomorrow, I'm supposed to go test drive a car, so I'll post it on my YouTube channels them. And then secondly, I did drop a video on the situation with the Cuban doctors. So if you haven't watched it, go take a look on it. Just don't watch sports alone. Go watch a video. They talk about the Cuban doctors. And by the way, what's very funny about this is this. For the Cuban doctor situation, Tufton, who heads up the Ministry of Health and Wellness in Jamaica, he came out and said that there are a number of reasons why they didn't renew the contract, right? One was with the Cuban doctors. I'm digressing here a little bit from football. One was about some passport situation. One was some contractual situation. Here's what I just got. Someone just sent this to me that came from the Cuban embassy. You got to be very careful, people. When you say certain things in the public domain, you should think about what you're saying and the implication of what you're saying, and that's going to affect your credibility and your integrity. That's why when Rudolph came on and said that the coach left because of losing a game, I challenged that. Because if you go online, you can see things read what the man saying left. But it's what the Cuban and people say. And we know what the football done. We'll say this. It says, Cuba regrets the decision of the government of Jamaica to cease medical cooperation, yielding to pressure from the U.S. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Cuba reports that on March 4th, the Foreign Ministry of Jamaica communicated to our embassy in that the country unilateral decision of its government to terminate the health cooperation agreement has linked both nations for decades. With this action, the government of Jamaica yields to the pressures of government of the United States, which is not concerned about the health needs of the Caribbean brothers. So when Tufton comes out and says it was passport and it was, I'm gonna stop doing anything there. You just affect your credibility and it make you look good. Just come out and say, you know what? We made a decision. We can't talk about it now. We'll more later. Don't give us some make-up story and then you just look like you're just a liar. Sorry, people. Me have to say that. Anyway, I'm out. Have a good night. Be careful what you say in the public domain. You can come back to bite you. Make sure it's accurate. Make sure you do your check. If you listen to Cranky, authentic, ever here, always trying to do the right thing. May not always do, but always trying to do the right thing. Always believe in fairness. Always believe in goodness. Think people should be good. Think people should be fair. We should treat people, not necessarily how you want to be treated. Some people don't want to be treated well, but treat them fairly. Bless up, people. Peace out.